flights starting to resume after an Iranian drone hit a fuel tank. Iran has fired close to 2,000 drones and missiles at the United Arab Emirates over the past 2+ weeks. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Iraq also reporting new attacks.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Iran's also pretty much stopped oil and other shipping through the key Strait of Hormuz, and President Trump wants our allies to help set up a coalition to police the strait, make it safe for ships, telling reporters while flying back to Washington.
We're always there for NATO. We're helping them with Ukraine. It's got an ocean in between us. Doesn't affect us, but we've helped them.
Now, as far as oil prices, they keep rising. Brent crude almost $105 a barrel. Parts of the Midwest have whiteout conditions. There are blizzard warnings. Iowa, Illinois, up to Wisconsin and Michigan. Fox Weather's Jay Menars in Traverse City.
Our vehicle's stuck. We can't go anywhere until maybe these winds start to relax. And I'm telling you, that's not happening anytime soon. Gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour this morning.
Some areas could get several feet of snow. At the Academy Awards, one battle after another won the most Oscars with 6, including Best Picture and Best Director. Sean Penn, Best Supporting Actor. Best Actor Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. Best Actress Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's just a classic Indiana spring. Nothing on radar in downtown Indianapolis where it's 36 degrees, but it feels like it's 21. We're going up to 51. A wind advisory is in effect for the next couple of hours. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. Scattered snow showers are expected across the state today with only a little bit of accumulation following last night's heavy rain and damaging winds.
Get some lake effect snow in the far northern portions of Indiana. You get like towards the South Bend area, they could see amounts of 2 to 4 inches. But elsewhere, generally, we're talking, less than an inch.
Andrew White is a forecaster at the National Weather Service.
This morning, we're already starting to see some snow showers across much of the state. We're going to have the snow probably peak during the afternoon hours and start to wind down in the evening. We could have some flurries that linger through the overnight.
And White says by the time the weekend rolls around, we're right back to temperatures near 80 degrees. A pilot from Indiana was killed in a military plane crash in Iraq. Here's Jake McDaniel.
Captain Seth Koval was one of 6 airmen killed when their plane went down Thursday. He graduated from Purdue and spent nearly 2 decades with the National Guards in Indiana and Ohio. Edward Taylor III is the Chief Master Sergeant of the Ohio Air National Guard.
These airmen were more than just uniforms they wore. They were our teammates, our friends.
Indiana Congressman Jim Baird added that Seth represented the very best of Indiana.
Gunshots fired inside of a Longhorn Steakhouse in Castleton last night, and a man is dead. Police say they arrived at the restaurant along East 82nd Street and found the person lying in the lobby in cardiac arrest. He later died at the hospital. Officers detained 3 people as part of the investigation. The NCAA tournament field is set, and Purdue is a 2 seed after winning the Big Ten tournament 4 games in 4 days, thanks in large part to Braden Smith. Here's head coach Matt Painter.
His ability to pass and get the ball where it needs to be really helps us out. But it just happy for him, and Braden Smith's where all of our guys have, but he's worked really hard to be here.
And Painter on CBS Sports. Purdue opens the NCAA tournament against number 15 Queens in the West Region in St. Louis on Friday. They are a nearly 25-point favorite. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together next on a Monday morning. It's 6:04.
So it's been a few weeks using the 3-step system from the Good Feet store, and it has been incredible. The Good Feet store. You've heard me talk about it. You've driven by it many times, and you're like, what is that place? That's the place to go to get rid of pain, because the pain is emanating from your foot. The issues with your knees, your hips, your lower back, that's because your foot doesn't have the proper support. The arches aren't they're not being taken care of. And with the Good Feet store and their free, no obligation personalized fitting, you get started on your path to feeling better all the way up and down your body. And now when I wear my Good Feet arch supports made in the USA, 100% US origin materials with a lifetime warranty, it's massaging. It's amazing. It's a 3-step system, and you got to commit yourself to the system. But the result, it's fantastic. Talk to the Good Feet store about that plantar fasciitis, about that knee or hip pain. Talk to one of their arch support specialists today. The Good Feet store has 2 Indy area locations, at Clearwater at the Crossing and in Greenwood just off 65. Online at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com.
Good morning, Hancock County. Looking at westbound, a 12-minute trip right now from State Road 92465 on the east side. Looking pretty good. Of course, we have construction on I-70, Mountain Comfort Road on in, so keep that in mind as you head to work today. Northbound 6570 lane restrictions start today from the south split up to New York Street. Keep that in mind, please. Traffic sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. With over 100 online casino-style games, Chumba Casino is your destination for non-stop entertainment. No purchase necessary. VGW Group void or prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 21 plus. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Good morning. How does the weather look?
Craig, good morning. Just 6 hours ago, we were into the 60s. Now it is super windy. It is snowing. And we are cold. We're going to continue to see those numbers tumble throughout the day. We still have the wind advisory until 8 a.m., but blustery winds throughout the rest of the day. Some scattered snow showers. Might even get a little bit of a coating for the evening drive. Look for afternoon temperatures to hover around 30 with wind chills into the teens. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We're dry but cold. A low of 15. Wind chills will be in the single digits. St. Patrick's Day, mostly cloudy. It will be brighter, maybe a few flurries, but it's going to be cold, a high of 29. Some snow showers Wednesday morning, otherwise partly cloudy Wednesday, 49. And Thursday, mostly sunny, and a pretty big warm-up. Thursday's high up to 60.
That's crazy. It's crazy because it feels almost mean to be this cold right now, right, Marcus?
I mean, I was out at a baseball game for my kids yesterday.
Yeah.
It was windy, but we were in the low 70s by dinner time.
Yeah.
And to be freezing now and snowing that is a slap in the face.
It is. It sure is. Thank you very much, buddy. Right now it is 6:07 Monday morning. Tony Katz in the Morning News. 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be here for the day. The weather does sometimes seem like it has an attitude, a personality, and it's being just mean to people. This is one of those days, or a next couple of days here in the Midwest, where it feels exactly like that, like you're punched directly in the gut, because things were so great. Hey, winter's over, and then winter can come back with a vengeance. For several more days. All right, there's a lot of things to talk about today. There is something I will touch on a little later. I won't do much of it right now, but it is rodeo related. And I will tell you that it's relevant to Indianapolis because Indianapolis will be seeing its own rodeo coming up on the 21st and the 22nd of March at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, the Unleash the Beast tour, which I don't think they're paying us for. I'm just mentioning it because I've been rodeoing somewhere else. And I'd like to talk about that. So that's coming up in a little bit. But there is a lot of absolutely important and relevant actual news out there that is not rodeo related. You heard within the news break there some audio of President Trump saying that, we might need a little bit of help from NATO with what's going on with Iran, and we would like to see them be willing to do that. We do a lot of things to help when they tell us they need some assistance. We would like some. We would like to see that happen now. He's not really shy about it and saying it any sort of way that matters. I'm going to be honest. It does two things when he brings in and mentions NATO. It allows people to go ahead and take pot shots at him for his up and down support or lack thereof of NATO, which it is what it is. I don't really care about that, but that's a thing that'll happen. And then two, it's also true. There's so many moments where, and this is my take on President Trump, he'll say something, and your immediate reaction, if you hate the man, which all of media does, or a lot of media does, is to find the avenue to criticize. But if you took an extra step back, even those people who hate him, part of you would have to be like, yeah, but he's right, though. And they never do that part. I know that doesn't happen, but that should happen just a little bit more, just like 5% more of the time. And I'd be happier about it. Well, I'm kidding. I would like for it to be 100% of the time. But I'm only going to hope for 5, where you said to yourself after the anger and craziness and whatever, which was on display again at the Oscars, several people, not that I actually watched the World Baseball Classic, which was way better. But I saw a lot on social media of the shots being taken politically at the president or at the current world in which we live. It's amazing to listen to Hollywood be so upset about a thing when their lives seem to be pretty great. Like that's the easiest take. That's the Ricky Gervais shot. Your lives are awesome. No one needs to hear you complain. No one thinks that you actually feel any of the pain that we might feel in whatever the situations are that are happening in society. So sit down, shut up, accept your award, and enjoy your night. That's been a great piece of advice. They should do that. But the same might be true of more media out there when they want to, again, go after Trump for what I think is an obvious sentiment, is, hey, we often will go ahead and add our support to whatever we think you guys need. We'd like a little bit back. We want this thing with Iran that we started to be over very quickly, and it can be over very quickly. Here's what we need from you. They should simply nod their heads and say yes. Of course, they won't do that. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. I do want to talk a little bit about the rodeo with Matt and Carl, because I can't help it. I've been covering a rodeo for 2 weeks now for a different radio station in a different place, and there is one coming up in about 5 days in Indianapolis. And I'm going to encourage those guys to go to it because I feel like I've changed. I feel like the rodeo has changed me. You might be able to see there's even more beard on my face if you're watching us on a live stream. But that coming up in a bit. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
This is Gary Dick. Union workers say no to a contract offer at 6:32. IBJ will unveil the 2026 class of 40 under 40 on April 15th. Be the first to meet this year's honorees. RSVP by April 7th at ibj.com/events.
Applied Innovation customer Michael Kisselback, IT manager at Neuter, a full-service industrial construction company, liked what Applied Innovation provided.
So we look for companies that have shared values as us. So companies that treat clients the way we want to treat our clients, proactive, responsive, and committed to long-term relationships.
And whether it's copiers, printers, or wide format plotters, you depend on your Applied Innovation sales rep.
Anytime I need anything from my sales rep, he is on point and on call. I probably have never had a better sales rep than the one I have at Applied. I mean, I email him, I call him, he's on it on the spot, which is pretty impressive.
Sounds like you found that long-term relationship with Applied Innovation.
I say Applied Innovation is responsive, intelligent, and always on point. Applied makes things easy.
Make your life easier by calling Applied Innovation today. 800-521-0983 or visit applieddinnovation.com. Applied Innovation. Office technology made simple from a partner you can trust.
High five! Up top!
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo!
For a limited time, now through March 29th. Switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $74 a month with a 2-year agreement. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
This month, get 0 Resified from Indy's #1 carpet cleaner. Buy 1 room of carpet cleaning, get 1 free. Unlimited rooms. Yep, unlimited. Living rooms, bedrooms, basements. Buy 1, get 1 free throughout your home. Winter left behind salt and slush, dust and allergens. The heroes at 0 Res remove that buildup so your home feels fresh again without any soap residue or harsh chemicals. So beat the spring rush. Call 317-388-5141. Visit ZeroResIndy.com and you ask for the WIBC special.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
Pretty good, Craig. So far, inbound 69 is wide open. Up to speed from State Road 37 to 465. It's a 4-minute trip right now. Lane restrictions starting. Scheduled to start today on northbound 6570 from New York Street to the south split, so keep that in mind. Also, that Calvary Street entrance ramp to northbound 65-70 scheduled to close as well. Traffic sponsored by Text Now. Some people still pay $100 a month for phone service. Text Now gives you 5G without the 5-figure commitment. Unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited freedom to switch things up. Try Text Now today. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
I'm reading the weather. Snow showers likely, mainly between 9 and 3 today. Cloudy, temperatures falling to around 28 by 5 p.m. Breezy, just punch in the face or in the gut version of weather right now. 32 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Johnny Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Thrilled to be with you. You have Matt, you have Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. I believe I asked this last time I filled in, but I'm fairly certain that neither of the two gentlemen that I'm doing the show with today have ever gone to a rodeo.
I have.
There is a Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Carl, you have gone. I was wrong about that. When did you rodeo? Where did you rodeo?
Fort Worth, Stockyards.
Okay.
It was totally Americana.
Awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah. All right. And Matt Bear, you have never rodeoed, correct?
No.
Have you contemplated it?
Not really.
Okay.
I don't have any buckskin in the wear.
There's two reasons I bring this up. First, there is a rodeo or a bull riding contest that's coming up in Indy. I think it's in about 5 days. It's this weekend. It's at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It seems like it might be a lot of fun. The second reason is nicely done, Carl. The second reason is because I've been covering a rodeo in Houston, Texas for a radio station I work for here for 2 weeks. I have gone to the rodeo every day for 2 weeks. I'm just putting that out there. And I have one more week left before I think I'm officially more Texan by going to the rodeo. Here's the most amazing thing I've seen, and I wanted to share with you guys in Indianapolis that they do at the rodeo. And I think they do it everywhere. I assume it's not just in Texas. They ask small children, this would be 4, 5, 6 years old, to grab onto sheep, and then they let the sheep run wild in the area where, like, the bullfighting is going on, not during the bullfighting, but the same area. And they call that mutton busting. And they do it every day. At the end of the show, right before the concert starts, they've got children riding sheep for as long as they can, just running. It's the craziest thing I've seen. What do you want to say?
No, I was just going to say, I think riding the sheep is more dangerous than riding the bull.
I feel like at 5, it's got to be at 5, right? These are small children, man.
Yeah.
And you see, like, their parents are so happy to watch them get launched off a sheep at some point while they're running it. Like, it's the craziest thing I've seen, dude. And I enjoy it a lot, but this is when I felt like I am from up north and not from where I currently live now. When you watch the little kids on the sheep and the parents are proud.
You need a
and then
large...
they take... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say you need a large belt buckle. That's what you need.
I love that you said that because they get one as a prize.
Oh,
the
cool.
prize for the kid who stays in the sheep the longest is a belt buckle. How would you react to this for you? Like, if you're there, what do you say to the people standing around you who think this is normal? Because I think in Indiana, you understand this isn't normal.
Well, yeah, I'm watching it. I'm there for the learning experience. I mean, I'm not going to be somebody who goes to the rodeo often, but when I'm there, I mean, I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna, maybe I could talk to the kids afterwards, like, what was it like, or see the bull riding and be like, yeah, that was pretty. Hey, if you ride a bull, you're a man.
You are. That's true. And if
Man's
at 4
man.
years old you ride a sheep at a bull riding event, you're also a man. I think already. I think officially that already happened.
At 7 years old, you made it.
Yeah, and not 7, 4. Man, these kids are like 4 and 5 years old, and they're riding. Yeah, it's the craziest thing I've seen.
Is it by choice or is it a punishment? I mean, you just.
I don't know.
Okay.
I assume it's by choice, but I don't know who chose. Like, I think the parents are telling them to do it, and then the kids just do it. There's like 8 contestants every single night, all new kids. They somehow find 8 children in Texas every day, and they throw them on sheep during the rodeo.
Is that
Real
because
things
the
that
other
happen.
8 kids are injured?
I would assume. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's like a sign-up tent, too, that I've seen where, like, you can, as a parent, walk up and be like, here's my small child. Can they get on a sheep later today? And you're like, yeah, sure. It'll be fun.
Have to sign the waiver.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sign your life away.
But I
Like,
wanted to ask you guys this, and I'll move on. I won't talk about the rodeo too much today because I know it's a totally different thing. If you go, I want to know if there's mutton busting. So if you go this weekend to your rodeo in Indianapolis, please tell me if small children are on sheep trying to ride them as long as possible, because that's essentially an event that we have here, and I just can't get over it.
You're talking about the rodeo at Gamebridge Fieldhouse coming up this weekend.
Correct.
March 21st and 26th. Craig, I have to ask, what is a mutton bust?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
It
even know
looks
why
like
it's called
the
that.
kids riding on the sheep because I looked it up on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's called that, though. I think Matt's question is like, what does that mean? And I don't know. There a
It's
lot
to
of
the
things.
kids, you're going to bust your mutton.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Sure. Yeah, they're definitely busting something. But it's crazy to watch the whole thing happen and watch the parents be so proud. They take like a picture after. And I wonder if when that kid's like 18, he'll be like, this was the first moment of abuse in my life as a child when they put me on the sheep in front of everybody. All right. I'm kidding. Other things out there. Target is planning to cut toys from their stores. This is making a lot of people sad. Many kids or many people of my generation, not kids anymore, remember fondly things like Toys R Us. And maybe one of the only equivalents left would be the toy aisle in a place like a Target. But that's going away. Target says they're not really doing a lot of business in those areas. Most people buy a lot of that stuff online anyway. So they're going to open it up to more electronics, more sporting goods, not so many toys. What do we think of this?
I think this is long overdue because Target toys aren't like real toys. They're like just something to distract the child, from what's the actual shopping. I think about like when I was a kid, I lived in Southeast Missouri and we had blue laws, which means you couldn't sell regular goods on Sundays. So
yes.
I would try to like go over to the other side of Super Walmart and see all the toys, but it was still Walmart toys, but the lure was toys. So as long as you have something there, you're going to be okay. But toys at a department store like a Target or Walmart is just a bus for a kid. We'd rather go to KB's. I don't think KB's is in existence anymore, but
But yeah,
you know what I mean.
We'd rather go.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, Matt. I think that's funny that you say it that way because you're actually right. If you go through the toy aisles of a Target, which there's only a few of them, they're not the top shelf items. These are not the things that you actually want as a child. Outside of one thing, I will tell you there's one thing that seems to be on demand pretty much everywhere still, and it's Pokemon cards. I didn't know why. Like, I have a nephew who lives in Indiana. He lives in South Bend, who loves Pokemon cards. And I thought he was too old for this, but it seems like it spikes back in. He's like a high school kid, and it just comes back because these are collectible, and some of them are worth tons of money. And so I do see a lot of people in line sometimes buying brand new boxes of these Pokemon cards that I think they open up like on social media and stuff. And then people watch them open packs of cards. I don't know why this happens either. Mutton busting and this are two things that very much confuse me. But I think that's the only exception to your rule, is that Pokemon cards are popular.
Well, I might get back into card collecting if it was like Garbage Pail Kids. I mean, that was big when I was a kid, Brainy Brian, and it'd have the Cabbage Patch Kid with the brain coming out of the side of its head.
That would be amazing.
It was a cartoon, of course, and it was a lot of fun. But, Pokemon's like my generation's Garbage Pail Kids. I mean, those were a lot of fun.
Yes.
That was really cool stuff.
But apparently people buy these like crazy now. And then again, the only reason I guess I'm really saying this, and I'm not going to promote the page, I haven't been given permission to do it, but people like my nephew get thousands of followers on social media by just opening these Pokemon card packages online. This is just a thing. They just open them, and if they get like a special card, it goes viral. I don't understand. I try so hard to prepare a 3-hour radio show, and then other people can be viral with a pack of Pokemon cards.
It'll make you crazy, man.
Well, should I just open those at the end of the show?
Yes.
WIBC can go viral. We'll just do a
great
Pokemon
idea.
opening at the end on our social media.
Fantastic. Great idea. Great video right there.
All right, well, I'll do it. I'll get us all some cards for next time I fill in. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. Matt's got traffic for you. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC.
What's happening, Craig? Looking at the south side, northbound 65 slow from Raymond Street into the south split. That is a construction zone. Heading to the airport this morning, man, is it cold? Westbound 70. Where are you janking? Westbound 70 wide open right now from Meridian, Illinois, out to the airport collector with Ronald Reagan Parkway and Ameriplex. Maybe 8 or 9 minutes here at the moment. So if you're ride-sharing people out, should be a pretty easy trip. If that changes, I will let you know. Traffic sponsor by ChumbaCasino.com. With over 100 online casino-style games, Chumba Casino is your destination for nonstop entertainment. No purchase necessary. VGW Group void or prohibited by law. See terms and conditions 21+. I'm Matt Bear with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
From local headlines to national news and everything in between, we'll get you caught up on the stories that matter the most over the weekend. It's Casey. Join us Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Look at you sitting there all stuck in traffic and paying more because of State Senator Greg Walker. That's because in the state Senate, Greg Walker voted to raise our gas tax. You believe that? And Greg Walker opposed President Trump's plan to remove liberal Democrats from Congress. That could mean more road funding for New York, not Indiana. So next time you're stuck in traffic, think about this. Greg Walker voted for higher gas taxes and opposed President Trump's policies. Are those the kind of conservative values we want in the state Senate? Yeah, I didn't think so. President Trump calls Greg Walker a rhino and a loser, and he's right. We don't have to be stuck with Rhino Greg Walker. Call Greg Walker at 317-232-9400. Tell him to support lower gas taxes and President Trump's agenda. Paid for by Hoosier Leadership for America.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here. While Indiana basketball teams are making it drain on the court, Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is making it drain in your home. For just $49, Hope will snake your main line and do a free camera inspection. Now that sounds like a no-drainer. Now is the time to get your main lines checked before spring has sprung and it's too late. Call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today, and let's make it drain. Give them a call at 641-HOPE. Pat Sullivan here with Michaelis owner Richard Michaelis. Richard, what are signs that your home is telling you there's something wrong?
Hi, Pat. You're going to see cracks, musty smells, sticking doors, pooling water. That could mean there could be a foundation issue or a basement crawl space issue. If you see or smell something like this, call Michaelis for a free inspection.
Wow, I bet you're fun at parties. If you suspect there might be an issue, get peace of mind of knowing for sure. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-BIX-INDY.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today? Today.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With a center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
You got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... Let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13, and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission, no cash access, and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
A lot of people are waking up to this morning. Nothing on radar in downtown Indianapolis where it's 36 degrees. It feels colder than that because winds are whipping around today. A high of 51, a wind advisory in effect until 8. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. A strong storm system is moving across the eastern half of the U.S., bringing the risk of rough weather. Forecasters are warning about high winds and hail, even tornadoes. They also caution things like fallen trees and downed power lines and possible travel delays across the country. As for tornadoes linked to last night's severe weather in Indiana,
we did not get any reports statewide that I'm aware of at this point. Certainly had quite a bit of wind damage, mainly across the central and southern portions of the state. There was pretty significant damage, especially get closer to the Louisville area where they had wind gusts of 70 miles per hour.
Andrew White at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says snow is falling across the state this morning. It could make your travel tricky today. The partial government shutdown moved into its second month as Democrats continued to withhold funding for the Department of Homeland Security.
The Democrats want to punish us, the Republicans, but this is the wrong time. They have the wrong timing. It's like you cannot disconnect the fire alarm while the fire is happening. It's impossible for the home team to be winning this type of game if we have half of our players on the field.
That's Representative Maria Salazar speaking with Fox News. She says Democrats are blocking funding because they oppose how ICE is operating. The war in the Middle East is entering its third week.
The United States and Israel continue to strike Iran, hitting hundreds of targets over the past day. In response, Tehran is launching multiple barrages of missiles at Israel and claims to have attacked U.S. bases in Iraq and Kuwait. This as we are getting a better idea for how much longer the war could last. The White House saying Sunday they expect fighting to come to an end within weeks or sooner.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer reporting. And the Oscars wrapped up last night. One battle after another ended up being the big winner. The film took home several major awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. Michael B. Jordan celebrated his first Oscar for his role in Sinners. I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Union workers at the BP refinery in Whiting have overwhelmingly voted to reject the oil giant's last, best, and final contract offer. The United Steelworkers Local 7-1 said more than 98% of members voted not to accept the offer. The previous contract expired on January 31. But the two parties have agreed to a rolling 24-hour extension of the agreement for refinery workers. To labor news now in the business of sports. A new labor deal in the WNBA is high stakes for the league, its players, and franchise cities. The Indiana Fever have been riding a surge in ticket sales, merchandise, and TV numbers, and that has spread to downtown Indy businesses, says IU Columbus finance professor Ryan Brewer.
What we see is that the local proprietors are now, built up to kind of expect that summer business. So that's another impact on Indianapolis. But the whole thing really hinges on, you want everybody to be a little bit unhappy when they get to the middle. And after they've had a couple of weeks to digest wherever they end up, they're going to be happy. But what they don't want to do is they don't want to set the season back and cancel the season. I think there's a lot on the line right now, and everybody's going to have to share in this pot.
The Carroll County Economic Development Corporation has updated its 2026 strategic plan, outlining priorities aimed at strengthening the county's economy, workforce, and quality of life. That plan focuses on 4 key areas: business development, workforce development, community identity, and quality of place. You're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana University is shaping the future of healthcare with Hoosiers in mind. Advancing discoveries that become treatments for Alzheimer's, obesity, cancer, and rare diseases, and training the providers trusted to deliver them. From the lab to your local clinic, IU powers medical breakthroughs and the talent behind them. Discover how IU is solving what's next at iu.edu/impact.
Indiana revenue collection surpassed the most recent estimates for the month of February. The Indiana State Budget Agency said Friday general fund revenues last month totaled $1.4 billion, which is $63.6 million higher than the April 2025 forecast, or 4.7%. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
All right, Gary, northbound 65, slow approaching the south split because of road construction. That's from Raymond Street. And then on the north side, we just slowed down on westbound 465 from Michigan Road over to 865. That's stop and go traffic for the moment. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit us in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland. Online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Snow showers are likely at some point today. Temperatures falling to around 28, breezy, windy, just miserable compared to how it was simply 24 hours ago. 32 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center of 93 WIBC with sports. Ryan Hedrick.
Craig, good morning. Purdue's rolling into the NCAA tournament with a lot of momentum after beating Michigan 80-72 to win the Big Ten tournament on Sunday. The Boilermakers strung together 4 wins in 4 days to lock up their 3rd Big Ten championship.
That's tough to do, especially when you go up against, the talent and the size and the athleticism that Michigan has. So 4 different games. I don't think we were at our best against UCLA. I thought we had some fatigue there.
Purdue is the number 2 seed. They play number 15 seed Queens on Friday in St. Louis. Tip-off 7:35. Purdue is a 24.5-point favorite. Team USA is headed to the World Baseball Classic title game after a 2-1 win last night over the Dominican Republic.
We want to win the whole thing. I mean, that's why we signed up for this. So certainly huge moment. Can't overlook it. I'm blessed to be a part of it. I'm blessed to manage these guys. I've had an absolute blast. But yeah, job's not done.
That's manager Mark DeRosa. The U.S. will play either Venezuela or Italy in Tuesday's championship game. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com.
Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit them in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland. Online at drexelin.com.
Sonny Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in for the day. Thrilled to be with you. There was sad news that broke over the weekend. I think this came out on maybe Saturday. But one of the individuals who died in the plane that was brought down during the ongoing conflict, war, whatever you want to call it, in Iran, was from pretty close to Indianapolis, Mooresville, 38-year-old Captain Seth Koval. His wife on social media put out a statement, and I wanted to read part of it. I know that might be uniquely, I don't know. Here's what I mean to say about this. We should do this more often. If we lose military men and women and families want to have public statements, we should do this more often. We often, I think, might just do this the first time, and this is the first loss of a life from Indiana in this ongoing conflict. But it's tremendously important to demonstrate the gratitude and sacrifice that's made by these families and these individuals who serve and protect our country in whatever capacity they're asked to do it. But here's a message from his wife, Heather, that she put up on social media publicly. I wanted people to read. Our world was shattered 2 days ago. There is nothing that can prepare you to receive news that you've lost the love of your life. Our family will never be the same. As we figure out how to pick up the pieces and move forward, we are deeply grateful for the love and support we have received. That support and the help of our Heavenly Father will hold us together in these fragile moments as we face a reality without him. She went on to talk about her husband. Seth was a man whose life I could never confine to a single statement and whose loss will echo in my heart forever. Seth was exceptional in everything he did. He was truly the most amazing husband, father, son, brother, friend, and airman. He loved what he did, and he was proud to put his uniform on and serve others. He grew up dreaming about becoming a pilot, and to stand beside him as he made his dreams come true was an honor. They call these people Gold Star families, families of military men and women who have lost their life protecting us in some capacity or fighting for us. And if you don't believe that certain conflicts protect our country, if this is the one going on right now in Iran or a previous run, I tell you, you don't understand how all of this works. We are asked to do things, or not me. military men and women are asked to do things by us for our society, which our commanders in chief, whoever they are, deem worthy of that request. And the military men and women never bat an eye. They just do it. And so uniquely powerful to see a statement from a Gold Star widow now, and someone who says that even though her life is shattered, she is proud of her husband, proud of the sacrifice he made and his desire to be someone that serves in our military. And I guess the reason I opened it by saying it might be unique to cover this story as much as I am on Monday morning, at this station, it is something we should probably do every time. If we lose more men and women from Indiana or in general, as we lost a few other people in that plane that went down, we should talk about it. You should at least talk about it at home with your family, because there are times that I think, and I'm not trying to shame anybody, I'm not trying to ridicule you, tell you you're doing anything wrong, but there are times where I notice how little people understand the sacrifice part of this. And here's an example I'll use before I take a break. There's a lot of idiot social media morons. I'm going to use two terms to describe them as stupid out there right now, criticizing certain aspects of this conflict. And you can tell in the way they speak, some of these idiots. And I'm not saying that there's not some avenue to criticism of anything. You can criticize stuff all you want, but some of the takes they have, some of the ways they describe their opinion demonstrate how little they would ever, tiny their comprehension is of the ask itself. They would never themselves consider volunteering and becoming military men and women. They would never consider defending our country. None of these things. There are so many people with these takes that are so extreme, and these, I think, understandings of situations, this one in particular, that are so out of touch with where they should be to try to be a face of some of these conversations, that it just annoys me. And so that's really, I guess, the reason that I'm encouraged to talk about this right now, the reason that I'm motivated to bring this topic to the show today, as sad as it is because it's important. And I think the context of this matters when people are out there saying whatever crazy critical stuff they want to say. Is you need to understand the pieces, all the variables before you go that road. All right, quick break, a lot more. As Craig Collins filling in, Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Want to start testosterone therapy? Go to Low T Center, the area's #1 TRT clinic for effective custom testosterone covered by insurance.
This month, get a free T-test. Visit lowtcenter.com and book right now.
You love spring in Indy, so don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Mike did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
The thing about the Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Roll the windows down, turn the music up, and cruise into spring with auto loan rates as low as 3.99% APR for 48 months at Financial Center. Whether you're buying or refinancing, you'll save every month. Plus, you'll enjoy no payments for your first 90 days. Start now at fcfcu.com/auto. That's fcfcu.com/auto. Financial Center, your credit union for what's next. Subject to underwriting guidelines. See website for terms and conditions.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
Hey, your basement called. It said, waterproof me. So, call Swainco. 317-407-1868. SwaincoLLC.com.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
Westbound 465 north side stop-and-go traffic before Michigan Road over to 865. And then on the south side, northbound 465 slows coming up from South Keystone Avenue into the south split. That is a construction zone. And scheduled to start today, lane restrictions northbound 6570 from the south split up to Michigan Street. And those will be going on until the fall. Please plan accordingly. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit us in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland. Online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. The weather punched people in the face this morning compared to yesterday. Snow showers are likely at some point today. Cloudy, temperatures falling to 28. Breezy, windy, just mean. It seems like they're mean out there. Right now, it's 32 in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Join WIBC this Saturday at 9 a.m. for the Home and Garden Show live at Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 71st and Keystone for their spring open house. Play Pansy Roulette for your chance to win 10 to 100% off select items. Go to WIBC.com for more information.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff out there to talk about. You have Matt and Carl hanging out as they do every morning on this show. Some people went viral on the internet. That's true every single day. I like these people, though. I think this is very amusing. They are a throuple. If you don't know what that is, that's three people in a relationship. They also have children, apparently. The two people do, at least. Thank you, Carl. The two people do at least before the third person became part of the throuple. And they said on the internet recently that they're better parents than a two-person relationship. So you should probably be in a throuple if you want to raise kids. A lot of reactions to their sentiment that they're better than you because there's three of them. By the way, the guy, he's got two first names. Never trust anyone with two first names. His name is Frank Eric. And then the first wife, I don't know if that's what you call the person in the throuple who was there from the beginning, Titania is her name. And then Lexi with an I, of course. She had to spell it with an I, is now the third member of the group. Do you think it would have been better if you had another mom when you were growing up? Like second mom, third person that's also a parent in the relationship? I'm going to go with no. I was actually raised by a single mom, and I thought she did pretty good. So I had one, not three. But what do you guys think?
The more the merrier. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child,
Sure.
And in this case, we're being literal. And I think that's a fantastic idea. I mean, you can bring in the third just to be the disciplinarian. You know, I wasn't disciplined well when I was a kid. You know, every now and then, you know, I get in trouble for doing this or, you know, maybe eating glue, whatever it is I did when I was a child. But, you know, you just have that one parent to make the other parents look like the good guy. You know?
Yes.
It's kind of an
That's
agreement.
true.
I think
That's true.
in that case, it's a good idea. Other than that, it sounds like polygamy. I don't know.
It does sound like some other stuff that might not be exactly religiously okay. You're absolutely right about that. But I thank you, Carl, again. I do love the fact that they're like, there's three of us, so we're better. When I don't know. But you are right. It does take a village. You need help. You need support. So that might be true. I just feel like it's also weird to explain that. Like, one of these kids is 13, so he's aware of the situation when there was only one mom and one dad, and now all of a sudden there's a third person walking around, and that person is claiming to be second mom. I wonder how that conversation goes, how you sit down and have that, and if they go to school and talk about that stuff. Like, well, my second mom is now, you know, being real mean to me. Because I would have gotten very confused as a small kid being raised by one parent. Like, how many parents do you have? Did you take some of mine? What happened there?
My parents got divorced. I'd love to have a mom and a dad right now.
Yeah, go real sad about it.
Yeah, the kid is getting goofed on relentlessly in middle
Probably.
school. That's a guess. Yeah, I would say as soon as that got out. I mean, think about it. In middle school, anything that's different about you, your buddies or not so much buddies are going to get a hold of that and just drive it in every single day. And I'm sure this is a problem for him. And sometimes it's something he could probably laugh out. Sometimes it's probably not. You know, it's an odd situation. I don't want to say odd so much, but unusual compared to like, you know, the usual, what people think of the nuclear family. So the kids go into school and his buddies are harassing. Hey, man, you have 2 hot moms. Nice. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
So I feel for the kids.
I love that, Matt, you assumed they're hot. I think that's because of their names, Titania and Lexi with an I. Is that why?
Yeah, and I'm you know, it's.
Right.
I'm just saying, maybe she was a dancer at Chevy's. I have no idea. But
you never know, or still could be.
It's a possibility. Or the other one was Showgirls. But I feel for the kid, man. I feel for the kid. Maybe he's really.
All 3 of the kids. Yeah, I do.
Maybe he has a really good home life, and maybe everybody's super cool, and I love that because it's very much possible. But you know, the kid's gonna get razzed, and
I'm guessing it's unlikely, even if it's possible. I'm guessing it's unlikely.
Yeah, if the kid's guy friends come over, they're probably like, "Whoa, cool."
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true. There might be some level of you know, jealousy there. I love this, and I saw it in the chat. Someone just said, "I have 1 wife, and that's enough." That's absolutely true. Yes, I could not handle 2 human women telling me what to do all the time. I have 1. That is enough. I could not.
So my dad, decades ago, when I was really young and stupid, I'd like to be a polygamist and have multiple wives, and goes like, no, you don't.
No, you don't. There's no way that's fun beyond occasionally. All right. I'm going to throw this out there. I thought this was interesting. Los Angeles Metro revealed some of the unusual items that were left in Lost and Found. They usually do this like just after the new year, but for some reason they did it recently and it went viral. The items included a surfboard. It's LA. That makes sense. A 55-inch TV. Someone left on the Metro somewhere. That's a rough day. And then finally, a prosthetic leg was also left on the train. How does that happen? I'm asking that question. I'm confused. I think I told this story once on the air, and I think it was probably years ago. I once moved a twin mattress on the CTA in Chicago. That's the train system in Chicago. I was in college. I don't recommend that to anyone. I understand how you can bring crazy stuff on a train because I did it. I don't understand how you leave the prosthetic leg behind.
I mean, do they want it back now? Do you really want the leg back after?
Yeah.
They can find it at Indiana Lost and Found.
There you go. Yeah, Indiana
Unclaimed.
It's sitting on the marketplace at the moment. You know, it's prosthetic leg. Well, sir, I hope you find your leg here soon.
I do too.
I really do. It's probably hanging in somebody's apartment at the moment.
It probably is.
And what they found a TV set there.
55-inch television was also left on the train.
It was probably not flat screen, so they just kind of left it there. They're moving.
That makes sense.
They're using the train to move. God bless them.
I did that, Matt. I did that in Chicago when I was in college. I had a couple buddies and we moved a mattress. One of the things that we moved on the train was a mattress. My favorite part about that story, because I moved from downtown Chicago to Wrigleyville, where the Cubs play, so it's a 40-minute train ride. Sitting on the train with a mattress is uniquely funny, but getting off of a train and then walking down a street just carrying a mattress in Wrigleyville, where a lot of people are very drunk all the time, even more funny. There were so many people that were like, just lay on the bed and take shots with us, bro. And I was like, nah, dude, I got to get to my apartment. But it was a terrible decision, horrible for several reasons. I would not tell anyone to do it, but at the time, as a 20-something, I thought it was funny. And so we did it. So I understand. I imagine mostly young college students are people who are leaving this stuff on the trains. That's just my guess.
Yeah, and you're talking about moving a mattress. Those things are like the heaviest thing in the apartment, man. I mean, those are hard to move. And so what? You just kind of
twin.
Oh, okay. Well, still, it's still pretty heavy. I mean, how much room did that take up on the train car?
All the room. It took up all on one of the air. Yeah, it was like you had to like bend it to get it into the door. It was not. No one was happy. Everyone on the train was so upset that mattress guy was there, and it was hilarious to me.
You're lucky you didn't get shot, man.
I probably should have been. I probably deserve. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, yes, I think that's probably the reason they leave this stuff. I just still can't get over the prosthetic leg one in LA because I feel like somebody needs that. You know, I feel like there's not a way for you to get on a train with a prosthetic leg and get off without one. I just feel like something really interesting must have happened there. Unless somebody went to go pick one up for somebody else. Like they said, hey, can you go get my prosthetic leg from the doctor?
Yeah.
And the guy took the train and then forgot it. That's got to be a conversation when you get back to your friend's house. You're like, hey, man, I know you asked me to pick up that prosthetic leg. Bad news.
It's still in the box, It's like a collectible.
It's
collecting
somewhere else in Los
prosthetics.
Angeles right now, and some college kids being a moron with it. All right.
It's on eBay somewhere right now.
All right, Matt's got your traffic. More coming up in a bit.
All right, guys. North side westbound 465 crash after Michigan Road slow back to ditch. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit us in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland online at drexelin.com. Matt Barrett, WIBC Traffic.
Laura McNally, Director of Outreach for Cultivate Food Rescue, appreciates Applied Innovation's approach to her nonprofit.
Applied Innovation has been a great partner in helping us find the best resource available for our budget.
You refer to Applied Innovation as a partner, not just a vendor.
Because they aren't just trying to sell us something, they're really trying to understand what our needs are, and they appreciate that we're a nonprofit and are doing good in the community, and they want to help accentuate that, not just take our money and move on. It's not just about a sale.
Applied Innovation's culture has always supported nonprofits.
They really do support nonprofits. They allow their employees on the clock to come and volunteer. If it's not with Cultivate, they can choose their own organizations to volunteer with.
Nonprofit or for-profit, Applied Innovation has office technology from a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit applieddinnovation.com. Applied Innovation, fast, friendly, amazing.
Mark Dietl, real estate expert, the only local real estate agent I would trust with the sale of my home, the only real estate agent and his team I'd trust with finding me a new one, like Heath in Indianapolis. They were preparing for the new build and needed their current home sold at a specific time, date, and price. Mark Dietl's team listed it strategically, sold it in just 4 days for full price. Their expertise made their moves smooth and stress-free.
What separates Mark Dietl from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's right, he will buy it. Mark Dietl, the best in the business. Call him right now, 317-755-4232, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com. Ask about the guarantee and tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You know when you order a medium coffee and they hand you a large for the same price? Well, that's what the heroes at Zero Res are doing this month. Get a free size upgrade on every whole home air duct cleaning package. You pay for standard, you get the next size up. More vents, more returns, more fresh air. After winter in Indiana, your ducts need it, and your home needs it the most. Call 317-388-5141, ZeroResIndy.com, and ask for the WIBC special.
The spring sale is in bloom at Scandinavian Designs. For a limited time, enjoy huge savings on select modern furniture and decor, including pieces for your living room, bedroom, dining room, and beyond. This is your chance to refresh a favorite space or dream up an entirely new look. Stop by one of our local showrooms or shop online at ScandinavianDesigns.com. Scandinavian Designs. We make it simple. You make it home.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Coming up in 2 minutes on this Monday morning, what lies ahead for you in this week's forecast. Why there was lots of crime scene tape and police detectives at an Indianapolis steakhouse last night, and what is in store for the Purdue basketball team after the Big Ten tournament after Fox News. From the Dugan Air Heating and Cooling Mitsubishi Electric Studios, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, it is 7 o'clock.
President Trump wants our allies to help keep oil flowing and shipping. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, wanting a coalition to protect ships in the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran's been blocking, telling reporters last night while flying back to Washington.
It'd be interesting to see what country wouldn't help us with a very small endeavor, which is just keeping the strait open.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
The Strait of Hormuz has been under threat by the Iranian regime since this war began. And so President Trump is calling on international countries that use this critical waterway to participate in securing it. We've not yet seen many countries say they're willing to do so, and actually some have rejected this request by President Trump. But we can expect the White House today to encourage countries to participate in this coalition, and also some of those Gulf countries, Bahrain, the UAE, and Qatar, that are taking incoming fire, likely considering this offer from President Trump.
Now, oil prices are down a little this morning. Gas up another 2 cents. The price at the pump has surged 73 cents since the conflict started, when it continues the 17th day with the U.S. and Israel hitting Iran with more airstrikes, Iran countering with drone attacks on other Gulf countries. Parts of the Midwest are snowed under, with blizzard warnings from Iowa to Illinois up through Wisconsin and Michigan, where Fox Weather's Jane Menard is in Traverse City.
We had horrible conditions yesterday across the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest, with record snow in Green Bay, across the UP of Michigan. Expecting these blizzard conditions to continue through the rest of the day today. Here in the upper lower, we're expecting power outages to remain a big concern.
There are more than 100,000 homes and businesses in Michigan that have lost power. At the Oscars, the biggest winner was also Best Picture.
The Oscar goes to One Battle After Another.
That movie won 6 Academy Awards on ABC, including Best Director. Sean Penn got Best Supporting Actor. Sinners won 4 Oscars, with Michael B. Jordan Best Actor, Jessie Buckley Best Actress for Hamnet, Amy Madigan Best Supporting Actress for Weapons. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What changes are in store for you? Nothing on radar right now in downtown Indianapolis. That may change here soon. It's 36 degrees, but it feels like it's 21. We're going up to 51. A wind advisory is in effect for the next 58 minutes. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02. Temperatures are expected to keep dropping over the next several hours and into tonight, with lows falling into the mid-teens across the state.
Combined with some winds of 15 to 20 miles per hour, we are going to see the potential for some sub-zero wind chills in spots. Spots that don't go sub-zero will be right into the low single-digit numbers.
Forecaster Andrew White at the National Weather Service Indianapolis said light snow will continue today, and by the end of the week, temperatures should rebound, climbing into the 70s by Friday. A Mooresville native was among 6 Air Force members killed when a refueling plane crashed in western Iraq last week. The Pentagon identified him as Captain Seth Koval, who spent nearly 20 years in the Indiana and Ohio National Guards before becoming an instructor pilot.
The most important thing we can do is take care of one another. Check in with your teammates, support those who may be struggling, and do not hesitate to reach out if you need help.
That is Commander Sergeant Scott Barge with the Ohio National Guard. The plane went down Thursday while supporting Operation Epic Fury, but the other aircraft made it back safely. Notre Dame will say goodbye to Lou Holtz this morning, the former head football coach. His funeral mass is set for 1 p.m. at the Basilica of the Sacred Heart, and anyone who wants to attend can come. Seating inside is limited, so people are planning to get there early. Starting right now, they are lining up outside Soren Hall. Gunfire inside Longhorn Steakhouse in Castleton last night, and a man is dead. When officers got there, they say they found him in the lobby in cardiac arrest. He later died at the hospital. Police detained 3 men. They're still working to learn what led up to the shooting. Leaders at the Indiana BMV are warning you about a new text message scam that's pretending to be the agency. The message has links that you should not click on. They say if you receive this text message, delete it and call the police. Now that the NCAA men's basketball tournament bracket is set, John Herrick takes a look at what this means for teams with ties to the state.
The Purdue Boilermakers won the Big Ten tournament title on Sunday, 80-72 over Michigan, which pushed them to a number 2 seed. They had 21 assists in that game, 11 of which came from Purdue guard Braden Smith. Purdue head coach Matt Painter spoke about Smith to CBS's Tracy Wolfson.
His ability to pass and get the ball where it needs to be really helps us out, but just happy for him, man.
As for the Indiana Hoosiers, the committee chose to leave them out of the field, and Indiana elected not to accept an invite to the Crown or the NIT. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 7:05 on a Monday morning. Traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Grind? Looking at westbound 465 on the north side. Crash before 865, blocking the right lane. Stop and go traffic past ditch, and a delay of 12 minutes. Northbound 65 slowing down on the south side at Raymond Street into the south split. That is a construction zone, and we have lane restrictions, road work that's scheduled to start today. It's on northbound 6570 south split up to New York Street. Lanes restricted until, well, possibly fall, definitely through the spring and summer, as I'm told. Traffic sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does the weather look?
Hey, good morning. Boy, it is gusty out there. We're going to see wind gusts around 30 to 40 miles per hour here for the next hour or so, and then they'll fall between 30 and 35 miles per hour. We've already seen our high for the day today. Temperatures will drop into the lower 30s and upper 20s this afternoon. Some scattered snow showers could be possible on and off throughout the day. Generally less than an inch of accumulation, but we could see some heavier bursts, so heads up there. Mostly cloudy and cold tonight, lows to 15. So early Tuesday morning, temperatures, wind chill values into the single digits. Mostly cloudy conditions on Tuesday, highs only near 29. But we do warm up for the end of the week, back into the 60s.
Thank God for that. Thank you very much, Tara. Right now, it is 7:07 Monday morning. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Ryan Hedrick mentioned Lou Holtz in his newscast, and Lou Holtz is one of my favorite coaches ever. The guy was awesome in a lot of ways. He will be remembered today throughout a lot of Indiana, I assume, at Notre Dame for sure. I wanted to share just quickly the top 3 rules of life that Lou Holtz would give to people who asked him all kinds of questions, or sometimes I think publicly during speeches and whatnot. These are pretty good rules to live by. Lou said, do what's right. There's never a right time to do what's wrong, and there's never a wrong time to do what's right. That is rule number 1, do what's right. Rule number 2, do the best you can. That one was easier asked and harder to follow for a lot of people, even though it's very simple. But do the best you can is a great rule for life. And then finally, Lou Holtz's 3rd rule for life was let people know you genuinely care. I think that one's an excellent one, and I think it's rare in the society we live in now for a whole variety of reasons. Whether you genuinely care about people you work with, people you live with, people you have in your life in some kind of way. For some reason, a whole lot of people don't like to show that they care. Maybe they think it opens them up to some sort of attack by someone who maybe you don't trust. I don't know. But that was Lou Holtz's 3rd rule of life. Let people know you genuinely care. And doing that, I think, gets you a lot more and has people trust you more. And, things go better for you in life and all kinds of other places because of it. So do those things. In honor of Lou Holtz, wanted to share his 3 rules of life. The President of the United States was on Air Force One. He was asked a question about Operation Epic Fury. He said that he thinks that Iran is already in a place where they're desperate to negotiate, and he doesn't care because their desperation is not enough to get everything he wants. He wants more. I will tell you, I did a deep dive into the negativity surrounding this topic on social media and other places on another radio thing that I do. And I think it's very interesting that there are so many people that have such strong opinions of whether or not the Iran conflict is winnable, what that looks like. I think I've heard a lot of the bigger talking head people, the people like Tucker Carlson out there in the world, like bigger names is what I mean, saying that it's just unwinnable without boots on the ground. But so many of these, I think, ignore certain aspects of what inevitably is the military men and women and what they're asked to do in our society, in our country. And it trivializes a part of it in a way that I'm really not happy with. But let's hear the President of the United States talk about how he thinks we're getting closer and closer to an end point with Iran that would be very good for us and, well, very bad for them.
We had some very good results today, as you probably heard, in Iran. Very strong results militarily. Results. We're talking to countries about policing the straits because they are the ones, we don't get oil, very little, 1%, 2%. And China, as an example, gets about 90% of its oil from there.
All right, I'll stop it there. It's very hard to hear, I know, because he's on the plane and whatnot. He's on Air Force One. But he's talking about the Strait of Hormuz, and he's talking about how he wants NATO to help him secure it because it's one of the choke points that's most strategic within the world. I don't know if you know this, if people are aware of that, but that portion of water is somewhat easy to close, especially with the help of NATO, and would make things very, very difficult for Iran and very difficult for a lot of society, I guess, until we were able to reopen that because we get what we want from Iran. But the president's talking about that. He's also talking about how they want to negotiate badly, that being the Iranian government, and they want the conflict to end. Here's what I said some other places, and I'll just say it for you very quickly. Sometimes you do need to punch the bully on the playground, especially if you're bigger than the bully. And the United States is much bigger than this bully that is Iran, and we needed to punch them. We've needed to punch them for a long time, and not many leaders had any semblance of the necessary components, the you-know-whats, to actually do this. And Trump does. He has the ability and he has the willingness to go ahead and punch the bully that's been insane for a while. Insane toward us, not just insane toward allies of ours, but they've declared war on us multiple times. I think the last time was in December of just this past year. So they absolutely want death to America, and you need to show them that that's a bad thing to say out loud. And I think that's what's happening here. And I think that's the big win in all of this is we won't be pushed around because you can't assume non-action from us. And a lot of our most vocal enemies within the world assume lack of action from our country. And we have to destroy that narrative. And Trump is certainly doing that. All right, quick break, a lot more. Craig Collins filling in, Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
All lanes open on the north side. It's westbound 465 after Michigan Road. We did have the right lane closed because of a crash. Right lane now open, still slow from Ditch Road over to Michigan Road. Northbound 65 on the south side. That drags after South Keystone Avenue into the south split. It is a construction zone. And I'm getting reported snow south of Indianapolis right now, like around the Columbus area. So if that's you, please be careful. Lots of precipitation to the south of 465 at the moment. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit us in Carmel on River Road or on Shadeland Avenue. Online at DrexelHighEnd.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Somehow it's going to snow today, or at least that's what's projected after a wonderful 70-degree day yesterday. Today is a punch in the face. It is right now in the low 30s. I think it's 32 degrees, but the window that has my weather just closed on me, which is not very nice of it. But yes, it looks like 28 might be the temperature by 5 o'clock today, and there might be snow. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Custom jewelry is not out of reach with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. At PA Jewelers, you can customize any piece of jewelry for that special someone. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg. Gold, diamonds, gemstones, and of course those watches from Flederman Von Riest, assembled right here in Indiana. Custom designed jewelry with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. Custom jewelry made just for you. PA Jewelers, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. PA Jewelers.jewelry.
Well, she's fashionably late.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. It's time for our popcorn moment, brought to you by Boer Home Remodeling. You hear Tony every single day talk about how awesome Boer is. Check them out. Do it ASAP. But our popcorn moment, I got this one ready to go. If you're ready, Carl. There it is. It's Jimmy Kimmel, of course. He's at the Oscars. I think this is the Vanity Fair after party, actually. And he is asked a dumb question and gives a dumb answer. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Feels like it's deserved to be a thing here. The stupid prize might be his show eventually being also off of television, which would be awesome. But let's go ahead and play on this.
Are you exhausted?
Am I exhausted?
By the state of the world. And knowing every night you've got to say something.
You see me looking in my face and you're exhausted.
No, but I mean,
yes, I'm exhausted. Of course, it's ridiculous. We live in a ridiculous country. We always lived in a ridiculous country, but it was always ridiculous in a fun Mr. T kind of way.
Right.
Now we've got a different Mr. T. Yeah.
Mr. T, wow, I didn't think of it as a...
By the way, terrible joke to claim Trump is a different kind of Mr. T. But here's the thing. He's not exhausted at all. What I'm annoyed so much about in this audio that I played with Kimmel complaining and everybody at the Oscars saying how terrible it was that, you know, Trump's in office. Because basically that's the undercurrent sentiment, if they're not saying it out loud, to everything they say. But it's how much liberals enjoy this. They do. Kimmel enjoys this. He enjoys crapping on Trump. He enjoys going out there and saying the world is on fire and terrible every single day. They like it. They act like they're exhausted and, they want this fight to be over. But they enjoy it. They think they're more important at these times. They become even more arrogant and self-obsessed than they already are, which is hilarious to watch. But that's the one thing that most annoyed me in that audio, which is saying something, because a lot of it's annoying. The question itself, I think, is pretty stupid. But beyond the question, you also have just the simple sentiment of, hey, Jimmy, how are you doing? Are things okay? Like, here, I don't even mean to rant about this for so long, but I can't help it. Like, they're the ones who are going to fix it. The thing about these stupid people in media who complain especially the comedian ones who complain every day about Trump, they're not going to be the people that are looked to be the fixers. Dan Bongino has been saying that in his podcast since his return to podcasting a lot, is if you're really upset, if you really want to complain, go do something. And what he means by that is go get some sort of political office yourself, however high you can go. If you're a famous celebrity, go ahead and try to get a role, fairly significant within our political system and see if people want to elect you and put you into a position of power and get certain things done or break things the way things are breaking in New York right now. Go ahead and do that because they do love these moments. They do love to feel as though they're more important. And they also love the fact that nothing is expected of them, that when push comes to shove, they get to retreat into their corner and not actually do any work because that's not actually the game at all. I'm not saying they'd be good at this, by the way. They'd be uniquely bad at it. And I will just say quickly that Mamdani already failing in New York is kind of amazing. One of the things he said recently is that if he can't get taxes to be raised more on the rich, which is a promise every Democrat everywhere in the country makes, and it's not going to work for a variety of reasons. If he can't get that done, guess what? He's going to begrudgingly, he doesn't want to do it, but raise taxes on everybody else. That's what they do. That's the Democratic pattern, is I'm going to raise taxes on just the rich. I promise. And then, all right, that didn't work. I want your money now because you're going to have to give it to me. That's how things go. All right, let's shift gears for just a couple minutes and have a little bit of fun during this segment. Movies that are a 10 out of 10 with zero bad moments, according to Reddit. These movies are really interesting to have made this list of the best with no moments that annoy you or you think should have been edited out. The number one movie named for perfect from beginning to end, Alien, 1979. Alien. I don't know if Matt would have thoughts about Alien being one of the best movies in the history of the world.
I'm one of the rare people that think Aliens is actually better than Alien. It's
Fair
a
enough.
sequel. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Come on.
That's the 86 sequel, right?
Yeah, more aliens instead of just ones. I'm like, your cup runneth over. I mean, that's...
No, I'm going to agree with you, Matt. I'm one of the other... And Aliens did not make this list of movies that are perfect from end to end. Alien did. But if I was in the room after the Alien movie was so successful and they were like, what should we do for the second one? I'd be like, I don't know, more aliens? Let's do that. Let's add more and it'll be better.
Right. More colonists.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Was Shawshank Redemption on that list of perfect movies? Because
it is.
Okay.
Shawshank came in at number 9.
And
beginning to end, just great.
What about Finding Nemo? Is that on the list?
Finding Nemo is not on the list. There is an animated movie in the top 5, though, and I was surprised at what it is. The Emperor's New Groove. Are you familiar with this at all?
No.
Okay.
At all.
The Emperor's New Groove. The only reason I know about this movie is it's a Disney movie made, I think, in like 2000 that my adult older sister wound up obsessed with. She loved the movie. I think David Spade is the lead voice in it, and it's definitely a very sarcastic, stupid Disney movie. John Goodman is another voice in it. My sister loved it. She'd quote it all the time. She'd talk about I don't know why. The Emperor's New Groove was one of those movies that caught the attention of adult Disney people, not young Disney people. Otherwise, I don't think it's great. But it made number 4 on this list. Mean Girls and My Cousin Vinny rounded out the top 4, along with The Emperor's New Groove and Alien.
Mean Girls, I know it's just memed all over the place.
It is.
And quoted all the time by the women folk. But
the women folk.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
It is very good. A very good movie. Funny.
Do you mention it to the women folk? Do you mention, I've seen Mean Girls? Does that help you out there?
If there's a conversation, I'll try to nudge myself into it.
Of course.
I'll be like, hey, that Lindsay Lohan could do math in that movie. They'll be like, wow, you're connected. You know Mean Girls, and boom.
And one of the other ones can predict the weather. That's pretty amazing. She can do that.
See, it's such a funny movie. It's a good movie.
It is. The Princess Bride was number 7 on this list.
Nice.
Shawshank was 9, as we said a second ago. That's just wrong. These movies are way too low down the list. Like they should have beaten things like The Emperor's New Groove. And then finally, one last one to mention, Back to the Future came in at 11. You know what's not in the top 20? Godfather.
Ooh.
Seems wrong to me.
Yeah.
That's one of the Hallmark best movies ever of all time, and it's not mentioned here at all because young people don't understand.
Are there any mob movies in the top 10? Because I can list 1,000 of them that were
There's no mob movies on the list.
Oh.
You didn't get a single mob. Oh, excuse me. I take that back. There is Goodfellas. There's only one mob movie on the list.
Goodfellas is amazing. It should be
is
on
an
the
amazing
list. That's
movie.
right.
It is.
Casino. But then again, I don't know. When you have a movie like a director that insists on going 3 hours on every single movie,
That might be a weak point there.
Yeah, but I thought Casino was close to a perfect match. Then again, when it gets into the end and just about the ginger character, love interest of Robert De Niro, it kind of starts to drag a little bit. In the beginning, it's all the casino stuff, the wheeling and dealing, we're smashing hands with hammers, and it's like, yeah, this is a fun movie. But then it's just about some woman who's getting a little too high and then having too many affairs,
I just realized there's something I need in my life now, and I probably need it to be put up on social media. Matt Baer's 30-second explanation of movies, because the way you described Casino, the beginning of Casino was excellent. It's true. There's a lot of casino action and smashing of people's hands. That does happen, so that makes it a pretty amazing movie.
Well, think about it. Like as a Midwesterner, somebody who didn't grow up around the mob or casinos or knew anything about the Tangiers or Vegas or anything like that. I mean, I'm watching this for the first time, I guess, when I'm a teenager, early 20s, and I'm like, these people are cool.
Right.
And everybody, I mean, we would watch that. And then Texas Hold'em craze came out and everybody's watching Casino where they're playing Texas Hold'em. I mean, it was a cultural movie. It was big on my generation. It had a big influence,
No. It's fantastic. I want you to do more 30-second movie synopses. I want these throughout the day, every time I fill in. I want to hear Matt Baer talk about a movie we got to see and tell me in 30 seconds why. But all right, we got to take a break. A lot coming up. Matt's got your traffic, and we will do our marketplace segment after that. Matt, take it away.
Shawshank Redemption. Convicted murderer breaks out of prison. We're looking at north side westbound 465. Yeah, 465 westbound. Slow right now. Ditch Road over to Michigan Road. The crash is clear. Northbound 65 stop and go from the north split out to Meridian Street Penn. South side northbound 65 slows before Raymond into the south split. That is a construction zone. Inbound 69, a 5-minute delay from 106 to 465. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Having trouble sleeping? Mattress Firm. Visit Mattress Firm during the Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Their sale experts will help you find the perfect bed. They make sleep easy. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel Show back at it this afternoon. The biggest stories, and we kick off stand-up comedy madness. That's this afternoon, starting at 3:93 WIBC.
The most extraordinary thing a woman can do is let herself be human. We try to do it all, sure, but what if we're just not feeling it? Like when the fatigue hits, but you gotta bring snacks to the soccer game? Or when the laundry's piling up, but that hot flash says, too bad. We get it. Franciscan Health has care for extraordinary women who can do it all, but don't have to. Visit franciscanhealth.org/OBGYN today.
Spring is fast approaching and a great time for a new Lincoln at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. 0% financing is back. That's right, 0% for 48 months on new Corsair, Nautilus, and Aviator. Plus 0% for 36 months on new Navigator. With these rates, it's absolutely the best time to buy. Be sure to check them all out at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Our family serving yours since 1972.
0% APR for 48 months on 2026 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, and Aviator. 0% APR for 36 months on 2025 Lincoln Navigator. Subject to credit approval. Offers end 3/31/26. See dealer for complete offer details.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. 800-598-4799. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Tough, reliable, and ready to work. You were born that way. Kubota is built that way. Our entire ag lineup, featuring versatile tractors and hay tools, powerful skid steer loaders, and the rugged Sidekick utility vehicle, is designed with the engine of a Kubota and the heart of a farmer. Visit KubotaUSA.com to find a dealer near you.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250. Micro.
Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit them in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland. Online at DrexelIN.com.
Still searching for two missing.
93 WIBC.
After a U.S. military plane crashed in Iraq.
What happens next?
4 U.S. service members killed in the crash.
Happens here.
We are decimating them. We've knocked out most of their missiles.
Stay in the know.
We're learning more about the attacker who drove a truck into a synagogue.
While you're on the go.
Convicted ISIS supporter shot and killed an ROTC instructor and wounded 2 Army personnel.
There were students that were in that room and rendered him no longer alive.
On air, online, and on Alexa. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Tough travel conditions in place for millions of people this morning. Nothing on radar in downtown Indianapolis. 36 degrees. It feels like it's 20. We're going up to 51 with a wind advisory in effect for the next 29 minutes. I'm Ryan Hedrick for Michaelis Corporation. Here's what's trending at 7:31. A snowstorm is moving across the Midwest this morning.
We have severe weather to the south that's been incredible. These snow drifts that have snowed us into the parking lot this morning in Traverse City, Michigan, and winds that are gusting anywhere from 40 to 60 miles per hour.
That's Fox Weather's James Menard. Blizzard conditions are in effect for tens of millions of people this morning. In Indiana, scattered snow showers are expected across the state today with only minor accumulation. This follows last night's heavy rain and damaging winds.
Get some lake effect snow in the far northern portions of Indiana. You get like towards the South Bend area, they could see amounts of 2 to 4 inches. But elsewhere, generally, we're talking, less than an inch.
Andrew White, a forecaster at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis. We're now more than 2 weeks into the war with Iran, and President Trump says Iran's military has been defeated. He made the comment Sunday while speaking with reporters aboard Air Force One. Oil prices are climbing again, and gas prices are rising as well. The national average this morning, according to AAA, is $3.72. The Hoosier average this morning is $3.47. And U.S. Senator Jim Banks talking about the spike in oil and gas prices.
There are short-term objectives here. At the end of the day, preventing Iran from ever getting a nuclear weapon. It's my sense that everything that we need to do, we can do in days, not months.
Banks, speaking with Wish TV, says the quicker the war ends, the sooner that you could see some relief at the pump. A plan to close the Trump Kennedy Center for renovations is scheduled for a vote today.
President Trump convened the board meeting as its chairman to vote on plans to close the center for 2 years starting July 6th, according to an agenda obtained by the New York Times. It was shared with House Democrat Joyce Beatty after a federal judge in D.C. ruled Saturday she must be allowed to participate as one of the board members appointed by Congress. Rules were adopted last May after President Trump took over and overhauled the board that only members appointed by the president may vote on board matters. It voted in December to add his name to the Kennedy Center. Congresswoman Beatty has sued over that and over the renovations. President Trump says the center's tired, broken, and dilapidated and needs a major overhaul.
Fox's Chris Foster reporting. The Lebanon Ballet School is getting ready to put on a fun, lighthearted classic this summer. Here's Jake McDaniel.
Mary Lou Hume and her husband Don Steffi have been teaching ballet in Lebanon for more than 20 years. On June 17th, their students are performing Capelia. Mary Lou tells Wish TV this summer's show is about having a little fun with the audience.
My husband plays Dr. Capelius, who is a crazy doll maker. He tries to bring his favorite doll, Capelia, to life.
And the performance is at the Pike Performing Arts Center in Indianapolis. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And sports on WIBC at 7:34 after Purdue won the Big Ten championship on Sunday. Guard Braden Smith finished the game just one assist shy of breaking Bobby Hurley's NCAA assist record. He had 11 in the 80s to the 72 win over Michigan. Smith said he would have loved to have set the record in that moment, but
at the end of the day, we won, and that's important to me. And obviously, it goes a long way when you have a lot of good people that surround myself. So I thank all my teammates throughout my 4 years who have helped me achieve that.
Purdue's Oscar Clough scored 21. Trey Kaufman-Wren had 20. Purdue is a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. They play 15-seeded Queens in the West region in St. Louis on Friday night at 7:35. The Indiana Pacers have lost 13 games in a row after falling to the Milwaukee Bucks on Sunday, 134 to 123. Team USA is headed to the World Baseball Classic final after edging the Dominican Republic Sunday 2-1 at Lone Depot Park in Miami. Paul Skeens, the reigning NL Cy Young Award winner, held the Dominican lineup to just one run over 4 1/3 innings.
It's been awesome. I didn't really have any expectations coming into the tournament. Didn't really know what to expect, and it hasn't disappointed.
And the USA will play either Venezuela or Italy in tomorrow's championship game. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. What's shaking, Matt Bear?
Crash clear on the north side, westbound 465. Coming up to I-865. A little bit slow right now, Michigan Road over to Ditch. Inbound 69, a 4-minute delay, 106 to 465. Inbound 70 slowing down, rural into the north split. Northbound 65 on the south side, stop and go traffic from Raymond into the south split. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit us in Carmel or River Road or on North Shadeland online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. The National Weather Service says that snow is likely today between 2 and 3 o'clock. Cloudy, a temperature that falls to about 28 by 5 p.m. Right now it's 31 in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Lanterns flickered along the harbor. Muskets stayed loaded. No one slept easily.
WIBC celebrates the spirit of 76. Brought to you by the WIBC Daily Newsletter.
March 16th, 1776. Boston waited through its final night under British occupation. Washington's guns still commanded the heights, but no attack came. British General William Howe prepared to withdraw, weighing how much he could save, ships, supplies, and reputation, without inviting disaster. One wrong move could still spark bloodshed. Instead, Washington did nothing, and in that restraint, the city's fate was sealed. Victory was coming, not through force, but through patience.
The spirit of 76. History remembered. Freedom celebrated. Have the latest headlines and show content delivered to your inbox daily. Sign up at WIBC.com.
Whenever I'm out of wandering, chasing
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A lot of stuff out there to talk about. It's time for our Marketplace segment, which is brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. All three of us, myself, Matt, and Carl, have all gotten money from Indiana Unclaimed, and I haven't lived in Indiana in years, and I still get money from that place, which is awesome. Way to go. Go to Indiana Unclaimed, put your information in, and find out who owes you a bunch of cash, and then use that money to buy crazy stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Today's post is actually here in Texas. It's not there in Indiana, so I'm sure it can ship to you guys, but it's terrifying, and I had to put it up there. It is a vintage Bart Simpson phone, like an actual landline you'd have in your house, but it's broken. The thing it says, and if you look at the photo on social media, the eyes were like poked out of place. So the Bart Simpson looks nuts, and I think he's supposed to have his slingshot in his hand, but it definitely looks some sort of like drug thing based on the way that his face looks. But this is selling for $20 on Facebook Marketplace, again, here in Texas, but you can get it anywhere in the world, I think, and in the country. So you can have it shipped there to you. What are our thoughts on selling something that's this disturbing looking?
So let me get this right. The eyes are busted. It's on a landline, which nobody uses anymore.
Nobody uses those anymore.
Okay. And it looks like Bart Simpson's holding a water bong.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
And somebody said I can get a couple of bucks out of this.
They want 20.
Okay.
They want more than a couple.
Oh, they can just go and, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
But wait, hold
even
on,
work.
Matt. Did you read all the post? Because it does say tested and works. So the phone does work even if it looks horrendous.
Well, who the hell has a landline? I mean, who's? I mean, what do you use it as a work phone, kind of a silly work phone, that kind of thing? And even then, it's not. I mean, it's broken. It's a broken phone.
That's true. It's a very broken, very disturbing looking visual phone that you could actually use if you want it. Like, just think about if you had a kid in the house and they have to use this phone to call somebody.
Yeah.
I think they're scarred for life when they do that sort of thing.
Well, the kid doesn't even know what the hell the Simpsons are. I mean, it's like, why did you give me this thing with the yellow character and the spiky head? And, it's, I mean, they don't have no point of reference, not to mention they have none of that for a landline either. Nobody has a landline.
Well, some people do. It's surprising that some people do. I work in a place where multiple members of our staff have landlines. We're an older group. Matt, so I'm not surprised that they have them. But I do love the fact that, like, I got our contact sheet somewhat recently. I was asked to update it, and, like, multiple people have landline and cell phone. And I was like, how often do we call landlines? They're like, we do it more than you think for our engineer and for a couple other people. So it's surprising. But, yes, children do not have them. I don't think anyone of a young age is looking for a landline phone. I will say something else, though, to something you said a second ago. I think kids do know The Simpsons. They don't know it's as good as we know it was, because it's still on TV. So I think people still watch it. They just don't know how good it used to be.
Well, wouldn't we have to have The Simpsons on for the kids to actually watch it, because they have cartoons I've never even heard of.
That's true.
It's like the Super, what was that thing? Adventure Force or Super Adventure Force or something like that. I'd never heard of it, but they hadn't heard of The Simpsons. I remember I was going to Comic-Con. We did like a video and everything. It was a lot of
That's terrible.
Yeah, and they were saying, they kept talking, yeah, this is Adventure Force. Look, they're dressed as and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah, but then I'd be like, hey, look, Marge Simpson. They're like, huh? That's and when you think about it, like,
these kids need to be stopped.
As brilliant as Matt Groening was with his renderings and his dialogues and everything, if you take each Simpson character on its whole, it's not like, wow, that's really cool. I mean, it's kind of frightening, which makes it such a good parody, and satire. But I can understand why the earlier generations don't get it. But you're totally right. It's not like it used to be.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you grew up with a landline, right?
I did, yeah.
And you had siblings, like you had like a sister and a brother, right?
I have two sisters and a brother.
Oh, okay. So when you got on that landline, didn't like one of them like get on the phone and check out who you were talking to?
All the time, especially if it was a young lady that I was on the phone with. I think that several members of my family just refused to hang up. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, you're trying to talk to this girl, and it's like your sister's listening to you and laughing.
Yes. Anytime I called Megan Julian, which I should not give out her whole name, and I just did that. I think it's changed. I think her name's different now. I think she's married and happy and moved on from our 8th grade phone calls. But yes, multiple times, members of my family would get on the phone to listen to me.
Well, think about
criticize me.
Teenage anxiety to begin with, and the first time you're like, have your first girlfriend in high school, and you're just now learning to talk dirty. I mean, and you're not supposed to be on the phone at 9, 10 o'clock. You're not even supposed to be doing it. Every little click just made your anxiety shoot through the moon. You're like, I'm just trying to say naughty things to my girlfriend here. We don't even know what we're saying, but we want to say them. And there was just like that intrusiveness that somebody could pick up the phone at any time.
I don't know, Matt. I went to a Catholic school. I don't know what you're talking about, dirty things. I was just trying to ask her to go ice skating. That's all I was doing on the phone. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can get her to go out to the ice skating rink, go ahead and get an ice cream and whatnot. That's all I did as a young child. That's all I'm going to say on this show. All right, other thing. That got weird. Well, no, wait. Oh, we can take a break. That can save us from me having to say anything else about myself. But yes, Carl, to answer your question, my family loved spying on me. I think more than the other members of my family. I think that's what it was. Although I will say this about the youngest, my brother, the youngest of the family, we didn't want to know what was going on with him. I think the youngest, sometimes there's an intimidation factor where you're like, it's probably terrible, and we'd rather not even know what's happening on the phone when he's talking to the young women. So, yes, other than that, that's what was going on.
How did we even get through those days? I mean, I had an older brother and two younger sisters. I was right in the middle of, the dirty talk.
I'm a middle kid.
Thing, yeah. And I was wondering, how did I ever keep any secrets whatsoever? Because they're always picking up the phone.
Here's the thing, Matt. I don't think we did. I think we thought we did, but we didn't. I think all the secrets were known by now. It's harder with all the internet and whatnot and the cell phones and all the things that make me sound old the way I'm referring to them right now. Yes, absolutely. I think that all my secrets were known by all of my family.
That's
probably why they.
Modems.
What's that?
Dial-up modems,
Right. Well, even you kick the internet off if you picked up the phone. Like, that's the other thing that kids don't understand today is that you had to pick one, phone or internet. You silly children. All right,
I'm trying to download this image here, and it's going to take me 8 hours. Leave me alone.
Give me 10 more minutes before you call somebody. All right, quick break. A lot more. Matt's got your traffic.
Northbound 65, stop and go before Raymond Street into the South Split. That is a construction zone. Southeast side, northbound 465, slow from 74 up to Brookville Road. East side, northbound 465 tightens after 70 up to Penn Pike. Inbound 69, 4-minute delay, 106th Street to 465. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit us in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Oh, I do weather now, don't I? The weather's terrible. It was nice yesterday. It's awful today. Temperatures in the 30s. It looks like it's going to get down to the 20s. And there's probably going to be snow at about 2 o'clock. 32 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought you to by the American Standard Heating Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Got friends or family who are hearing impaired? We've got you covered. Watch our shows aired live with closed captioning provided by Relay Indiana, making every moment accessible for all. Go to youtube.com/@WIBC to watch live and don't miss a moment.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday. Let's do this Monday. ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Pat Sullivan here with Michaelis owner Richard Michaelis. Richard, what are signs that your home is telling you there's something wrong?
Cracks, musty smells, sticking doors, pooling water. That could mean there could be a foundation issue or a basement crawl space issue. If you can see or smell something like this, call Michaelis for a free inspection.
Or maybe you just have a teenager hanging around. But if you do suspect there might be an issue, get peace of mind of knowing for sure. Remember, Michaelis offers a free inspection with no strings attached. Michaelis believes trust is earned, not demanded, so if work is needed, you don't pay until the work is done.
That's right, Pat. This is how we have earned the trust of Indiana for over 40 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last.
Water storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-FIX-INDY. That's 844-FIX-INDY.
We had downsized. In that downsizing, my husband lost his man cave.
Everyone is talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation, like your neighbor Deb.
My husband and I were at the home show and saw all these vendors with garage floor coatings. The one that stayed with us was Galaxy.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings is 4 times stronger than epoxy.
I'm the only one home, and so it's nice when well-dressed well-dressed, clean-cut, respectful crew show up. That's what Galaxy sent.
Commercial or residential, Galaxy transforms pools, patios, garage floors, and driveways in as little as 1 day, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
Warranties are real important for us, and to know that should there be an issue, Galaxy was standing behind us. That's pretty much what tipped us over to go with Galaxy.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook.
We are so proud to open our garage store.
We're out of this world.
You've probably heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's not houses, cars, or anything like that. It's actually your money being held by the Indiana Attorney General's Office Unclaimed Property Division. We're talking forgotten wages, old bank accounts, refunds, insurance payouts, stock dividends, and more. Right now, nearly $1 billion is waiting to be claimed by Hoosiers just like you. Find out if some of it is yours. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov today. It's fast, free, and easy.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Madness pricing is going on now at Great Lakes Honda of Fishers with special pricing on new Hondas. Make the most of March. Get to Great Lakes Honda of Fishers today for your next great deal.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use, so the weather never takes you by surprise. Download the free WeatherBug app today.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Matt and Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. I have audio that I find ridiculously amusing. I find it amusing because of how unintentionally funny it is. This guy is trying not to react the way I would have reacted to the thing he is seeing. And so this might be too, nonchalant to be as funny to others as it is to me. That sometimes is true. I get too much enjoyment out of things that are accidentally amusing. But we'll see if you guys agree. So a horse race in the UK went terrible. Snow Dragon was the name of one of the horses. Within the first few seconds of the race, Snow Dragon had shot its jockey off of the horse. So it launched its jockey somewhere that's not part of the race anymore. And then it decided to tank all the other horses. So Snow Dragon did what you see a lot in racing, where it just crashed, I think, to the left of it and took out like 4, and only 2 horses even finished the race. Now, that's what happened. That's chaos in the world of a, 15-second horse race. The announcer in the UK definitely did not understand the assignment. I'll say that going in. Here's the audio of how he called this. I would have been very different about it.
The very early part of the race. Now here is the first, and Snow Dragon has swerved left and is unseated. And a day forever had to hurdle Alan Doyle, who was on the ground. And now Snow Dragon is joining in and running around in front of the field. And it's utter chaos in the early part of the race. And Snow Dragon has taken out Romancia and has taken out For You Biz and has taken out A Day Forever. And all of a sudden there are only 2 left.
Yeah, what do we think of this call? Okay, Matt liked it.
I have no idea what the hell happened there.
Yeah.
I really don't. I listen to
Snow Dragon shot his jockey off of his back. That is unseated. That's what it means when you're unseated. And then Snow Dragon left the race, came back into the race, and tackled the other horses.
Ma always said, be careful where you shoot your jockey. And it's something that I've followed through my entire life.
Life lesson for all of us.
Yeah, the play-by-play was so eloquent. And, when we call games like with American football where he's just like,
scream and yell.
Yeah, evil dragon finds the prince. It's just like,
Snow
it sounds
Dragon has shot his jockey off of himself.
it's
Pandemonium.
Like Super Mario Galaxy or something. I don't know. But it was...
Here, let's listen to it again, and let's see where we could have done better.
The very early part of the race. Now here is the first, and Snow Dragon has swerved left and is unseated. And A Day Forever had to hurdle Alan Doyle, who was on the ground. And now Snow Dragon is joining in and running around in front of the field. And it's utter chaos in the early part of the race. And Snow Dragon has taken out Romancia and has taken out For You Biz and has taken out A Day Forever. And all of a sudden there are only 2 left.
Yeah, there are only 2 left. I mean, I know he gets a little excited. That's probably the most excited that British man has ever been. But if it were us here, when the horse decides to rejoin the race without a jockey and tackle all the other horses, like, you definitely go the road of this horse is insane. Something has driven it to madness, and it is trying to ruin the race for all involved.
And by the way, Alan Doyley on the ground is kind of like your star player tearing its ACL. It's you don't lose Alan Doyley, whether it's horse racing or just regular life. I mean,
you definitely don't want to.
Is everybody okay? I mean, you get ejected from the horse, and it's got to be like getting ejected from a car. I mean, we're talking about moving quickly and
Yeah, I didn't get an update on that, actually, Matt. I don't want to lie and say I'm sure that everyone's okay. It went viral, which usually means that something horrible didn't happen, because usually people eventually don't let that be viral. But I don't know. As of right now, as far as I understand, everyone's fine.
Well, except for Snow Dragon. He's probably...
Well, Snow Dragon's been banned from all kinds of sporting events now. Because Snow Dragon seems to be uniquely upset.
Can't even sit in the stands for an Eagles game,
That's what we need.
Yeah.
You need Snow Dragon to be invited. Okay, hold on. You just mentioned football. I want to transition. We have a little bit of time to the Bears going to Indiana. I read this. I think this is out in like Indy Star, some stupid place. But saying that Indianapolis has become what it's become because of the Colts. That after the Colts came there in the 80s, the destination that is Indianapolis for sporting events and or music, whatnot, concerts, all that stuff. It's all credit to the Indianapolis Colts. And I believe there's probably some level of deserved credit there. But Indianapolis is a hub on its own. Racing, I think the Indianapolis 500 gets some level of attaboy that was missing in the Indy Star. Do you want to talk about this after the break? I know we're up on the traffic.
I understand the argument, but it's a little more complex than that, I think. But I appreciate the argument. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's bring it back. We'll bring it back. I'll bring Matt in after the break, and we'll talk about this again here on 93 WIBC. Traffic, take it away, bud.
Crash West Side, Rockville Road, a Girls School Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit us in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland. Online at drexelin.com. Matt Baer, WIBC Traffic.
Michael Meitner, IT Director for Grand River Aseptic Manufacturing, has multiple products from Applied Innovation.
We utilize their line of Rico MFPs across all of our sites, and we're currently using their DocuWare solution for scanning and archival.
Applied Innovation's DocuWare solution has benefits?
Yeah, us providing our great customer service to our customers has been improved tenfold. Instead of taking like 30 minutes, it now takes 1 minute.
So Applied Innovation has become an important strategic partner.
Applied Innovation has really become our one-stop stop for all of our MFP printing, scanning needs, our document archiving processes. It's really convenient to have one vendor across all of our 6-7 different sites that we have that I can trust on.
And Applied Innovation service?
Customer service has been amazing. I recommend Applied Innovation and DocuWare to anyone that I possibly can.
Applied Innovation. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedyinnovation.com.
Hammer Nigel here. Did your New Year's resolution stall? Now's your second chance. At Low T Center, they're extending their New Year's promos to give you the new start you need. If you've been feeling exhausted and have lost your sex drive, book a free testosterone test at Low T Center. No risks, no commitments, just answers. Want to start testosterone therapy? Don't settle for one-size-fits-all doses from your doctor or pay hundreds out of pocket at a TRT franchise.
At Low T Center, you can get insurance-covered TRT customized to your body for maximum effectiveness and safety. Low T Center has served over 500,000 patients since 2009 and continues to lead the industry in TRT. This month, enjoy a free men's T-test and discounted peptides while supplies last. Head to lowtcenter.com and sign up for that free T-test today. That's lowtcenter.com.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor and call a groundworks company. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with Indiana Foundation Service, a groundworks company.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
State Senator Jim Buck is 80 years old, and decades in politics and government have changed him. Maybe once he voted like a conservative, but he's changed. How else can you explain why Senator Buck voted with liberal Democrats in Indianapolis to oppose President Trump's agenda on congressional redistricting? Or why Jim Buck voted to let China own Hoosier farmland, putting Hoosier families at risk? Or why Jim Buck voted to raise our gas tax, increasing your pain at the pump, against Trump, letting China own our land, increasing the gas tax. It's a pathetic and sad pattern, a sign of a politician who's been in office too long. Call State Senator Jim Buck at 317-232-9400. Tell him 32 years in politics and government is enough. Support Trump's policies or retire already. Paid for by Hoosier Leadership for America.
Still searching for two missing.
93 WIBC.
After a U.S. military plane crashed in Iraq.
What happens next?
4 U.S. service members killed in the crash.
Happens here.
We are decimating them. We've knocked out most of their missiles.
Stay in the know.
We're learning more about the attacker who drove a truck into a synagogue.
While you're on the go.
Convicted ISIS supporter shot and killed an ROTC instructor and wounded 2 Army personnel.
There were students that were in that room and rendered him no longer alive.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
Good Monday morning. Coming up in 2 minutes, forecasters are calling this what we're going through, a classic Indiana cycle, what police are saying about a shooting at a popular restaurant, and the NCAA tournament field is set after Fox News from the Dugan Air Heating and Cooling Mitsubishi Electric Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It is 8 o'clock.
Smoke hangs over Iran's capital a 17th day. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. As the U.S. and Israel continue to hit Iran there and beyond.
These strikes have not only targeted Tehran, but also much of western Iran, where the launching positions and production facilities are for Iran's ballistic missile stockpile. And as it continues, each and every day, the Iranians are starting to run out of the critical missiles and drones that they are using to target not only Gulf countries, but also U.S. ally Israel.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. President Trump wants help from our allies to set up a coalition force to get oil shipping again through the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran's been blocking. The president telling reporters while flying back to Washington.
Nice to have other countries police that with us, and we'll help. We'll work with them.
Oil prices are mixed this morning, not moving much. A nasty storm keeps hitting the upper Midwest with blizzard warnings. Iowa to Illinois through Wisconsin and Michigan. Another 2,000 flights canceled today, about 1,600 more delays. But that's not the only problem. There continue to be long security lines at some airports because TSA agents continue to have to work without pay, with Homeland Security funding still blocked. So some haven't shown up.
The CEOs of major airline companies are now criticizing members of Congress for, as they say, once again making air travel a political football in another government shutdown, calling for lawmakers to come together to find a solution.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. They handed out the Oscars last night on ABC with one battle after another leading the way.
The big winner with 6 wins, including Best Picture. Sinners follow with 4 wins, including Michael B. Jordan for Best Actor, thanking those that paved the way.
Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith.
That clip courtesy of AMPAS 2026. Frankenstein took home 3 awards, K-pop Demon Hunters 2.
Fox's Michelle Polino, Sean Penn, Best Supporting Actor, Jessie Buckley, Best Actress for Hamnet. The Best Supporting Actress Oscar went to Amy Madigan for Weapons. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
From wet weather to wintry weather in 24 hours. Nothing on radar in downtown Indianapolis where it's 36 degrees. We're going up to 51. A wind advisory has just expired. I'm Ryan Hedrick for Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 8:02. Temperatures are expected to keep dropping over the next several hours and into tonight, with lows dipping into the mid-teens across the state.
Combined with some winds of 15 to 20 miles per hour, we are going to see the potential for some sub-zero wind chills in spots. Spots that don't go sub-zero will be right into the low single-digit numbers.
Andrew White at the National Weather Service. Indianapolis says light snow will stick around through today and maybe tomorrow, but we should warm up again by the end of the week, and on Friday, temperatures will be in the 70s. Oil prices are climbing this morning, and gas prices are following the same trend. U.S. crude reached $100 a barrel Sunday, And the national average for gas is now up to $3.72. The Hoosier average is about $3.47, says AAA. A man who was killed in Sunday night shooting at the Castleton Longhorn Steakhouse has now been identified.
IMPD says there was a disturbance in the lobby of the restaurant between a man and several other people, and then someone pulled out a gun.
It's really sad and unfortunate that there's just a small part of our society that have no regard for human life and will easily pull out a weapon and kill someone over very little.
IMPD Night Watch Captain Rob Ryder says the man shot was taken to a hospital in critical condition but died there. The Marion County Coroner's Office has since identified the victim as 24-year-old Justin Hignite. 3 people were detained at the restaurant but eventually released. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Notre Dame community is saying goodbye to former head football coach Lou Holtz today. His funeral mass is set for 1 o'clock at the Basilica of the Sacred Heart, and it's open for anyone who wants to attend. A pilot from Indiana was killed in a military plane crash in Iraq last week. Here's Jake McDaniel.
Captain Seth Koval was one of 6 airmen killed when their plane went down Thursday. He graduated from Purdue and spent nearly 2 decades with the National Guards in Indiana and Ohio. Edward Taylor III is the Chief Master Sergeant of the Ohio Air National Guard.
These airmen were more than just uniforms they wore. They were our teammates, our friends.
Indiana Congressman Jim Baird added that Seth represented the very best of Indiana.
In the field for the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament is set. Here's John Herrick.
The Purdue Boilermakers won the Big Ten tournament title on Sunday with an 80-72 win over Michigan to get them a number 2 seed. Purdue head coach Matt Painter told CBS's Tracy Wolfson that his team is figuring things out.
We had some struggles defensively. We've been really good scoring the basketball. We got a great offense. Today we were better defensively. We built on it in this tournament, and hopefully it helps us in the NCAA.
As for the Indiana Hoosiers, they were left out of the field, and they are not going to play in the NIT or the Crown tournament. Miami of Ohio is 31-1. They are led by Butler alum and former IU assistant coach Travis Steele. They play SMU in the first 4 on Wednesday. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:05. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
Eastbound 465 slow from Ditch Road over to Meridian 31 in those westbound lanes tight from Keystone Avenue over to 31 Meridian. Northbound 465 on the northeast side tightens up at 75th 269. South side northbound 65 slow from Raymond into the south split. Crash on the west side Rockville Road at Girls School Road. Traffic sponsored by Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. Madness pricing is going on now at Great Lakes Honda of Fishers with special pricing on new Hondas. Come in today. Pay what they pay at Great Lakes Honda of Fishers all month long with madness level pricing. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings, good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. Boy, it's still pretty gusty out there. The wind advisory has been expired at 8 o'clock, but gusts could be 30 to 35 miles per hour. We're going to look for blustery conditions today. Temperatures are going to fall throughout the afternoon. We'll be into the upper 20s by the evening. Scattered snow showers throughout the day. Less than an inch in general, but where we get some of these heavier bursts, we could see some reduced visibility and could get a quick coating. Tonight, the snow comes to an end, mostly cloudy, cold. Lows near 15. And by early Tuesday morning, we could be talking about wind chill values into the single digits. Mainly cloudy conditions on Tuesday with highs near 29. Now, late Tuesday into early Wednesday morning, could be talking about a quick coating of snow once again as the system pushes through. But I don't think the snow is going to stick around for too much longer. Wednesday afternoon, we're going to look for highs close to 50.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now it is 8:07 Monday morning. Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Matt and Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this very show. And I brought up a topic just before we had to hit a break that I do want to bring back. The topic is about the Bears moving to northern Indiana, moving kind of close to Gary, and what that would do for that part of the state of Indiana. And there's a comparison in Indy Star that I thought was really poorly done. Not surprising. A lot of people crap on a lot of things. that Indy Star puts out there. But someone said that essentially the Colts coming to Indianapolis in the 1980s transformed the city. It turned it into a city that it is today, a city where you can have all kinds of marquee sporting events happen. And before that, and this is a joke that I think a lot of people in Indianapolis did say, it was a one-day town, meaning the Indianapolis 500, already a big deal in the 1980s, was the biggest reason to go to Indianapolis, and then you didn't stay there. You went there for just that day. And now there's a bunch of reasons to go. A couple pieces of information before we get into this, and I bring in Matt Baer to get his opinion on it. Indianapolis in the 1980s was still a top 15 most populous city in the country. It was number 12. 700,000 people lived there then. It wasn't like it was not on the map before the Baltimore Colts moved there. I'm not trying to disparage the Colts and their impact on the community. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just saying that it's somewhat silly to compare this to northern Indiana, a part of the state that is really nowhere near what Indianapolis was before the Colts come to this city. And honestly, probably won't be. It'll be more like East Rutherford in New Jersey, where the New York football teams play. That doesn't compare to New York City. It doesn't become on par. And Chicago is going to be too dominant beyond having the Bears stones throw away in Indiana to create a must go to place in northern Indiana in a place like Gary. It's just not going to happen, in my opinion, regardless of what occurs there. And part of the argument that the Colts are the catalyst to the city of Indianapolis being what it is, I think is misunderstood. I think it's important. I don't think it's as important as Indy Star is saying it is. I want to bring in Matt Baer for his opinion on this. Matt, what do you got?
I'll meet him halfway on this. Yeah, the Colts have a big deal with it. Absolutely. Yes. And I remember my grandpa telling me stories about downtown Indianapolis before the Colts came. I mean, we were Naptown. That's what we were called, Naptown. Sure. And we had neighborhoods like Dodge City, which is now Fawn Creek Place. I mean, there were spots you just didn't go to that are now even affluent to some degree. And you can't have this conversation about the Colts. You cannot talk about what the Colts have done for Indianapolis without talking about Mayor Hudnut, Bill Hudnut. Sure. And I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him. I did not live in Indianapolis during the Hudnut administration. I just didn't. But he was the guy who had the idea to build the stadium before the actually team came. Right. And let's admit it, that takes cojones.
It does, but it wasn't being built for just the Colts. It wasn't being built for anything.
Right.
And I think that demonstrates, and they had like funding that helped them do that, that demonstrates that Indianapolis was on the map, that people were going to eventually come there. It might be the Colts, it might be somebody else. I agree with you on that if you're building that, stadium before anyone shows up there, it's because you're going to find a use for it. And I'm not trying to take away from the Colts. I hope that that's not what this sounds like. I just think that Indianapolis had so much more potential when the Colts go there than Northern Indiana is going to have, regardless of if the Bears show up there.
Indianapolis was like a mold of clay. All right. So something to actually shape. And this mayor, and I'm not going to go on and on about it, but he had a plan. He had a vision, especially for the west end of Indianapolis. Now, on the east end of downtown Indianapolis, you had the Pacers, which we all love the Pacers franchise. Even if you're not a Pacers fan, there's some appreciation by locals towards what the Simons and the Pacers have done for the city. So what do we do at the west end? Well, we build the Hoosier Dome. Then the RCA Dome is what it became, and that made way for Lucas Oil Stadium, which is hosting the Final Four of the men's basketball NCAA this year. So without this particular vision, this Mayor Hudnut, I don't think you have the Colts. And I don't think you have Lucas Oil Stadium, and then you don't have the Final Four. I think there was a man, a leadership, a man with a plan here, which is why this all came about, which is why we got the Colts.
I disagree with the Final Four assessment you put in there because Indiana was a basketball state even then. Sure. I think it would have continued to be Hoosier hysteria or whatever they called it being a thing.
Hoosier
hysteria. I think basketball always would have been something that inevitably could have landed in a place like Indy. And I do think that as you're building the Hoosier Dome and you don't know what's going to go in it, that you know that somebody's going to show up there because, again, it was the 12th most populous state or populous city, in the country before the Colts moved. It wasn't like Indianapolis had nobody living there. Even if you make jokes about it and say certain things about it, it just wasn't true. And the whole reason to have this discussion is not necessarily to go through the history of Indy and what did or didn't happen. The Colts are tremendously important to the economy of this city. I'm not pretending they're not. I just think it's a fool's errand to behave as though and pretend as though that's possible in northern Indiana, in Gary, in the parts of the state that they're talking about where the Bears could wind up, because most people will be coming from Chicago to watch them and then going back to Chicago. They won't be relocating there.
No, and the thing is, you look at the Colts, and I'm very appreciative to the franchise. I have a lot of great family memories with the Colts and going to the games. But when you have the Colts, then you have Circle Center Mall, which was just a dynamo, in the 90s and 2000s. It was the coolest thing. And a lot of that is for the infrastructure with what the Hoosier Dome provided. Then again, it comes back to knocking down the Hoosier Dome, putting up Lucas Oil Stadium in that huge convention center. It's controversial to a degree because we used so much taxpayer money to be able to build it. But with that, you have this viable district of commuting and commerce, of people just using this west end of downtown. And that's why all the conventions want to be here. So while the Colts, they do have a really big hand in it, I want to give credit to the people of Indianapolis and Indiana, because that was the leader. Let's give credit to the leadership, because there are a lot of examples of that today. So I want to think that it was the people that elected Mayor Hudna in the idea, and everybody getting on board with saying, yes, we can be bigger and better than what we actually are. We are not just the nap town. We are more than the nap town. And because of the people, this is what we've become.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you a lot. And I do think that, again, and kind of the reason to have this be the jumping off point to a discussion is really what's in the news right now and going on now about the potential for the Bears to relocate from Chicago to northern Indiana, and what that means for the state, for that area, for those cities like Gary, Indiana, where they might wind up being homed, all of that. And I just think it's idiotic, and this is what the Indy Star was trying to do, to say that it could be Indianapolis 2.0. And I'm paraphrasing. That's not necessarily what they said, but I'm paraphrasing in the sense that seemed to be something they were sort of hinting to, that it could be a boon for the state. And I just don't think that's true. I just don't think the Bears relocating even actually impacts Indiana anywhere near as much, because it'll still be the Chicago Bears. There'll be a team playing in a different city that won't actually take on the name of it, which is part of the demonstration of what that actually means to the Bears. And this might not happen. I know that there's a meeting, I think, on the 18th in Chicago, in Illinois, to try to create a new pitch to not have the Bears leave. I think it'd be good for Indiana. I don't think it's bad for Indiana. I just don't think you're making another Indianapolis by getting a NFL team in northern Indiana. That's my essential take in it. And I know we got to hit traffic. Do you want to say anything else?
I was just going to say I think they're moving to Des Moines, but that's just something.
Sure. I think they're moving all kinds of places. Yeah. I think the one place they're not playing is the south side of Chicago. Yeah. That's not going to happen in the near future. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Matt's got your traffic.
Northwest side crash, northbound 465 before 865 crash on the left shoulder. No delay at the moment. Westbound 465 stop and go from Ditch Road over to Michigan Road. We are also slow from Keystone Avenue over to 31 Meridian. Crash on the west side, Rockville Road at Girls School Road. Traffic sponsored by Odoo.com. All your business apps in one place. Running a business is hard enough. Odoo makes it easier with one simple all-in-one platform. Start today at Odoo.com, ODOO.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Snow showers likely mainly between 2 and 3 o'clock. Cloudy. Temperatures falling to around 28, 31 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
What if the reason your health is not improving isn't what is being treated, but what is being missed? Have you tried different providers, different treatments, different diets, and different supplements, and still don't feel like yourself? Then join us for the free Holistic Integration Seminar, The Missing Piece in Your Health, Wednesday, March 25th at 6:30 p.m. at Cohatch in Carmel. Hear from Dr. Robert Prather, host of the Voice of Health Radio.
When we combine the structural care along with the functional, then we can really break through on what's going on in the patient.
Those who attend will receive our autonomic nervous system test and our body composition analysis for just $49, normally a $195 value. the free Holistic Integration Seminar, The Missing Piece in Your Health, Wednesday, March 25th at 6:30 p.m. at Cohatch in Carmel. Learn how true healing happens when we treat the whole body, not just the symptoms. Reserve your tickets on our website at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Tamara and Nigel here, Window Nation, windownation.com. Man, I love my Window Nation windows. They look great on my house. And if your heat or AC was running more than it should, no matter the weather, it's probably because your window insulation has failed. When it does, all your heat escapes in the winter and your cool AC in the summer. The pros at Window Nation can help you get new energy-efficient windows at an awesome price.
And right now, the more you buy, the more savings you get. Up to 50% off all window styles. And be sure to ask about Window Nation's special financing options, including $0 down and payments as little as $199 a month. In March, the more you buy, the more savings you could enjoy. Contact Window Nation right now. windownation.com, 866-90-NATION, but you got to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
When the cold takes over, Bassett Services is the name you can trust to keep your home warm and safe. From furnace repairs to full system replacements, we provide reliable solutions with care and professionalism. For urgent repairs or routine maintenance, Bassett delivers service you can depend on. We've been the first call for heating and cooling in Indianapolis for decades, so sound the hound at BassettServices.com for all your heating needs. Bassett Services.
Always by your side.
With a purple umbrella and a 50-cent hand.
Sorry, I just read something in the chat. This is Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Someone said that, let me guess, Craig is a salty Bears fan. I am not. I'm actually a New York Giants fan who originally grew up on the East Coast and then lived in Indiana for a long time. I went to high school and part of college in Indiana before then living in Chicago for a lot of years. I just don't think, I'm just responding to the post from the social media person and then also the topic we were just discussing about the Bears potentially moving to northern Indiana. I just don't think you can have the same impact. Indianapolis was a marquee city, in my opinion, maybe not a marquee city in the sense of having, you know, big giant sporting events and big concerts and whatnot before the move by the Baltimore Colts in the 1980s. But it was a top 15 most populous place within our country for a reason. There's a lot of things that were happening. The Indianapolis 500 was a giant event that at least happened for a day that showed on a world stage what Indianapolis could do if given more of an opportunity. The Hoosier Dome was being built before they have an NFL team, which to me means that the people in charge knew that they would eventually have the ability to do more. And then Carl pointed this out, actually, producer Carl, off the air after the break. Indianapolis wound up hosting a Super Bowl, and Super Bowls are a big deal for the economy of a place. So if Northern Indiana were to get the Bears, they would eventually probably get a Super Bowl, and that Super Bowl would give them a crap ton of business, and that is absolutely true. And I don't know, Carl, if you want to make that statement yourself or add to it, but that is absolutely accurate. I am not a salty Bears fan, though, to the commenter that put that up on social media. I just know that Chicago's proximity to Gary would make it impossible for turn Gary into what Indianapolis or Chicago is, which is a marquee city throughout the country.
I have a question. I
Go
just
ahead.
thought of this. Okay, if the Bears are in northern Indiana, like the Gary region, and they have a
That's the
Super
plan.
Bowl, what is the airport people will be using? Because you have Midway, you have O'Hara, that's all the way up there. Indianapolis
Yeah.
is all the way down here. You can't fly everybody into South Bend.
You can fly some people. I mean, I
Yeah.
was going to say, you asked me that question. I would use the South Bend Airport personally and try to get to Gary that way because I don't really like O'Hare or Midway. Midway is probably the most logical option in Chicago. That's the South Side Airport in that city. So it's probably where people would fly if they were then trying to drive to Gary. But I don't know. That's a great question, man. Where would they go? Probably a lot of people would go through Chicago, though. I imagine even if you were going to the Super Bowl in Gary, we need to understand this. It's not like it's a 2-hour drive from Chicago to Gary. It's like driving to a suburb, like an Indianapolis suburb. So the question could be better stated. What if Indianapolis moved the Colts, which would not happen, to one of the suburbs? Would people still, by and large, spend most of their money in Indy before then going to the game in the suburbs? I think the answer is yes. So I think that even though you'd get a bunch of business by a NFL stadium being in northern Indiana, you'd still probably see a lot of foot traffic in the city of Chicago with people commuting to the game. This happens in New York. The New York Giants and the New York Jets play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. They do not play in New York City. But by and large, a lot of the people who go see those teams play go to New York City and then either drive out or take a train out or a bus out or something out to get to the stadium. So there's other NFL teams that do this, and they don't adopt the name of the state that they actually play in or the city they play in. They keep the name that's marquee and the place that's marquee, and they essentially provide a limited system of benefit to the place they'd go. Northern Indiana would not get the amount of value that Indianapolis got of the Colts. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, and with Midway, I mean, you make an excellent point about the suburbs. Yeah, I mean, people from, Greenwood would still drive, say, north of Westfield to see the Colts play football.
Right.
And I'm just thinking, from Midway to the actual stadium where it would be in northern Indiana if the Bears were to relocate, there is about 30 miles total, maybe a little bit longer, 45 miles. So it's not the worst commute ever. But
it's like a 30-minute drive.
Yeah, but out in South Bend is an international airport. I thought it was a regional airport, but it does handle international traffic. But
buddy.
It's something. Oh yeah, but something
no,
like
I went to school in South Bend.
Totally cool. And I've flown out
defending
of South Bend.
South Bend now. All of a sudden.
Yeah, I just wonder. Do you have to split the volume for an event like the Super Bowl? Would you have to split it between Midway and South Bend because there just doesn't seem that one next door hub? But I know San Francisco, again, to your point earlier, the 49ers have their stadium way far away from everything, not actually in San Francisco. So I guess it would be applicable here. I think it would work. It just seems,
Midway and O'Hare are pretty capable airports, man. A lot of people could fly in there if they wanted to. Certainly into the O'Hare Airport, one of the biggest in the country. But I think you'd want to choose South Bend if you could, just for ease. It would be much easier. It's a longer drive. South Bend is not as close to Gary as Chicago is. So if you wanted the shortest driving commute after landing somewhere, it would definitely be Midway or even O'Hare, because I think South Bend and Gary is like 90 minutes. So the 38-minute drive compared to the 90-minute drive, you're going to want to go, or maybe it's like an hour. You're going to want to go with the shorter trip. But South Bend would be the smarter option to me. But I guess the real discussion point here, and I'm glad that this wound up being a 2-segment thing, because I think it's fascinating. And I'm hearing from a lot of people and a lot of my family and friends who live in the South Bend area have been talking about the idea of this and how cool it'd be, even for them. I mean, Notre Dame is already on the map there, but to have a 60-minute drive to one NFL stadium and then a 3-hour drive to Indianapolis, another NFL stadium, would be cool for a lot of people in northern Indiana. I agree with that. But it's just not a apples and oranges thing in this sense. I hope Indiana gets the Bears. I will say that. I think the Bears would be treated better by Indiana than by Illinois and Chicago. So I hope they actually relocate for the sake of the team and the value of what they'd get from that city. But it won't transform Gary into Indianapolis number 2. I just don't think that's an on-the-map valuable thing, because you have a historic, world-relevant city within 30 minutes of the place you're trying to revitalize. It's not going to happen in the same way. Indianapolis didn't have that challenge. They didn't have a city of Chicago's status within some, 30-minute drive of them.
There would be a fantastic economic impact, you would think. But still, there's going to be the argument of taxes. And I don't care what they say is in the plan right now as far as not taxing people. That plan's going to change a million times. Okay, so let's not be so convinced there. Whether or not it turns into Indianapolis, I don't know. But you'd have to think there's nothing but some sort of positive impact
It's
economically
gotta be
on
benefit.
northern Indiana. We want that.
Yes.
We absolutely
Yes,
want
there's
that.
got to be benefit. There's got to be value. Indiana would definitely get things from it. I am not trying to say that it would be nothing. I want people to understand that. I just thought it was such an interesting take in the Indy Star to claim that the template of Indianapolis could be used in northern Indiana, which they sort of did. I shouldn't say that they fully did that, but they basically did that because I think that is an overestimate of the value of this thing happening. But all right, we got to take a break. We got a lot coming up. Matt's got traffic. More probably not about this, but who knows in just a bit. Matt, take it away.
Westbound 465, stop and go, Keystone Avenue 231. Crash on the west side, Rockville Road at Girls School. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit them in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland. Online at drexelin.com. Matt Barrett, WIBC Traffic.
From local headlines to national news and everything in between, we'll get you caught up on the stories that matter the most over the weekend. It's Casey. Join us Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Time now for the Retirement Report with Casey Weed. Megan Mozak here with financial advisor Casey Weed, founder and CEO of Howard Bailey Financial. The big question for many of our listeners, Casey, as they approach retirement is, will I be okay in retirement? How do you help someone figure out if they've saved enough to be comfortable?
Well, Megan, there are many risks to your money, like market risk, healthcare costs, and taxes in retirement. Many people worry if they've saved enough. Strategies to help preserve your wealth can be more important than the dollar amount you actually saved for retirement. An analysis of your situation can help you get clarity today. If you're worried if you'll be okay in retirement, you probably don't have a plan. You might not even know what I mean when I talk about a retirement plan, but we have a great resource to help our listeners today. We call it the Retire with Purpose Toolkit, and you can get it when you call or text KIT to 888-494-5004. My team helped put this together just for you, and it's complimentary. The center of it is a copy of my latest book, Job Optional. It has chapters on everything from investments to Social Security to income planning. We also include guides on other big topics like long-term care and strategies for helping reduce your taxes. So if you want to get this information in your hands today, just call or text KIT to 888-494-5004. That's 888-494-5004.
Take advantage of this offer and get your Retire with Purpose Toolkit today. Like Casey said, just text KIT to 888-494-5004. The team at Howard Bailey Financial will get your Retire with Purpose Toolkit to you right away. So just call or text KIT to 888-494-5004.
Howard Bailey Securities LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. This is prepared for informational purposes only. It does not address specific investment objectives or the financial situation. Firm does not provide tax services.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. Storm damage? Call Michaelis. Here's Richard Michaelis.
Hi, Pat. Michaelis has served Central Indiana for over 40 years. We offer free home inspections and are experts in damage caused by rain, wind, hail, and tree impacts. We help you navigate the insurance process to make it as easy as possible.
If you suffered storm damage, call the local company you can trust. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Water, storms, fire, or wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Severe weather across the Midwest. Light snow on radar in downtown Indianapolis where it's 31 degrees. It feels like it's 17. We'll bounce back up to 51 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. A winter snowstorm is bringing heavy snow, strong winds, and difficult travel conditions to parts of the upper Midwest and Great Lakes.
11 million people in the Midwest and Great Lakes are under blizzard warnings, with parts of northern Michigan expected to see up to 3 feet of snow. Arctic air will then sweep over the central and eastern U.S. Meantime, people in the Southwest are bracing for dangerous heat. Desert areas could see temperatures soaring past 100 degrees this week. The Midwest and South are being hammered by strong winds, hail, and tornadoes.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer reporting here in Indiana. You could expect snow off and on through tonight, and then temperatures dropping into the teens with wind chills bringing the real fuel values below zero. Israel has launched another round of strikes on Tehran as the war moves into its 17th day, and tensions are running high across the Gulf. Dubai briefly halted flights after a nearly drone attack in Saudi Arabia, says it knocked several drones out of the sky while flying conditions continue in Lebanon and Iraq. The fallout isn't just happening overseas, it's showing up here too. The FCC is saying that broadcasters could face trouble if they put out misleading reports about the war. Chairman Brendan Carr said over the weekend that stations pushing hoaxes or distractions might end up losing their FCC license. All of this is happening while there's still a lot of uncertainty about the condition of Iran's new supreme leader.
U.S. Central Command says they continue to degrade Iran's military capabilities. President Trump saying Iran's Navy, Air Force, and all their air defenses have been completely destroyed. Also, CBS News citing a U.S. intelligence report that the elder Khamenei, the Ayatollah, the supreme leader who was killed on the first day of the strikes, never wanted his son to follow in his footsteps.
Fox's Steve Harrigan. Indianapolis police getting called to a restaurant in Castleton for all the wrong reasons.
The Longhorn Steakhouse near Castleton Square Mall turning into a crime scene late Sunday night. IMPD Night Watch Captain Rob Ryder says a fight started between a group of people in the lobby of the restaurant, followed by gunshots. The victim, identified as 24-year-old Justin Hignite, he died later at a hospital.
Also, not only for the victim is it just terrible and tragic, but think about the community members here that came out for a nice dinner at a restaurant, and then violence erupts in front of them. So, that's scary.
Officers detained 3 people at the restaurant, but they were released. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to call the IMPD Homicide Office. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
At the Oscars last night.
And the Oscar goes to Michael B. Jordan.
For his role in The Sinners, courtesy of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Sports on WIBC at 8:34. Purdue rolls into the NCAA tournament with some real momentum after beating Michigan 80-72 to win the Big Ten tournament Sunday. The Boilermakers strung together 4 wins in 4 days to lock up their 3rd Big Ten championship.
That's tough to do, especially when you go up against, the talent and the size and the athleticism that Michigan has. So 4 different games. I don't think we were at our best against UCLA. I thought we had some fatigue there.
That said Coach Matt Painter. His team is a number 2 seed in the NCAA tournament, which starts on Tuesday. They don't play until Friday. They play 15th seed Queens in St. Louis. Tip-off at 7:35 at night. Purdue is a 24.5-point favorite. Team USA is headed to the World Baseball Classic title game after a 2-1 win last night against the Dominican Republic.
We want to win the whole thing. I mean, that's why we signed up for this. So certainly huge moment. Can't overlook it. I'm blessed to be a part of it. I'm blessed to manage these guys. I've had an absolute blast. But yeah, job's not done.
Manager Mark DeRosa, the U.S. will play either Venezuela or Italy in Tuesday's championship game. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com on a snowy Monday morning. Traffic on the 5s at 8:35. Here's Matt Bear.
Westbound 465 slow from Keystone Avenue into Meridian 31. Those eastbound lanes also tight approaching the 31 ramp from Ditch Road. Crash on the west side Rockville Road at Girls School Road. It is snowing in parts. Please turn your headlights on. South side northbound 65 stop and go traffic from Raymond Street into the south split. That is construction. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit us in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland. Online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Snow. I think we've even seen some now, which is sad, but snow showers are likely at some point today. Cloudy, temperatures falling to 28. Just a kick in the pants after everything that was so nice yesterday. 31 is the temperature right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
She said she was fine, but I noticed she stopped using the front steps. And another time, she grabbed the wall instead of the railing. It's little clues like these that often show up before a fall ever happens. This is Tina McIntosh, founder of Joy's House and co-host of Caregiver Crossing. Falls are the leading cause of injury for older adults, but there are simple ways to lower that risk. Stay tuned.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
One of the easiest checks starts with shoes. If they're worn down or they're slippery, they need to be replaced. Another is lighting. Shadows in hallways and dim corners at night can be dangerous, but even a small night light can make a big difference. Rearranging furniture to clear walking paths and tightening loose railings, those are also quick things that help prevent falls. Paying attention to these details not only keeps someone safer, it helps them hold on to their independence longer. More caregiving tips and resources are available anytime at joyshouse.org, with new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana.
Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit them in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland. Online at drexelin.com.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. We are live on all kinds of stuff. I know that you're told that probably often when Tony or anyone else is doing their regular shows and not just the fill-in guy filling in on a show here at WIBC in 93. But it's cool. You got a YouTube page, you got the Facebook, the Twitter, everything. X. Sorry, that's what I'm supposed to call it. So if you want to do more than just listen, if you want to watch any of the talent that's on this station, and then the fill-in guys who have less talent than the regular guys like me, you can do that. You can go to all these places and see all this stuff. And I do like the chat on YouTube, Cat's Kittens, as I think he calls them, because it's fun to kind of glance over to that occasionally and see what they're saying. So I do that more than I probably should. But great job for everybody out there. All right, some other things to get to just quickly before we get back into a break, because I went long in that last segment. And I have been talking about it a lot today, but I do think, like, when you look at the news right now, and I say that air quotes, the news, that everything going on in Iran is by far the biggest focal point, and then anything else that's happening in our society feels like it absolutely pales in comparison to this topic. So I think that's why it's coming up so much. And producer Carl sent me a great article about how one of the new people in leadership in Iran is basically a person no one wanted to be in power. The son of the previous and now killed supreme leader there is somebody that's basically Fredo Corleone, someone that has a lot of reasons that they don't think that he'd be good in a leadership role. I thought that was interesting, too, as a topic and as a discussion, because Iran is scrambling. And here's the part that matters. I guess this is the thing that I most want to say. I should stop moving my microphone. The thing I most want to say about this, the thing that matters to me is that Iran never expected the United States to actually take action. And the reason that is important is because of how many leaders were upset with the way that this country would treat us or talk about us or threaten us, even if they didn't have the capability to make good on those threats. They acted fairly tough, and we did nothing. For way too long, we did nothing, and we know it. President Trump knows it. A lot of people inside this administration and a lot of people in our military know that we just essentially allowed them to, and this is my words, embarrass us on an international stage because of how much stronger we are than them and how much we tolerated of their quote-unquote crap. And we stopped doing that. And I think that's tremendously good. And I get so annoyed with the people that say, well, what if it takes a long time, which I don't think it will. What if we don't get the kind of win that we're supposed to get? I don't think we're after toppling the regime on our own. I think what we believe would happen, the goal in Iran, as simply as I can put it, is that the Iranian people want a opening for them to take charge at some point and believe they'd be victorious in toppling that regime themselves. And you know what's interesting about that concept, that idea, and I've talked about this before some other places, this was the exact thing Democrats were saying about their hope in Russia. And they weren't doing anything to actually topple Vladimir Putin outside of sanctions that weren't working because of a system of oil and gas trade that included places like Venezuela and Iran. The places that President Trump is now disrupting are places that Russia and China relied on heavily to circumvent our sanctions. That's not going to be as easy now because of the things we've done. But nonetheless, and what's more important than anything in this discussion is that eventually, if you want to be considered the tough guy that you are, you have to punch somebody in the face, especially somebody who's disrespecting you on a constant basis. That's what this is. And I think for that reason, it's tremendously important beyond this conflict to the totality of the world to say that the United States is not a person, not a country that doesn't understand, that doesn't remember the strength we have. And you've had many leaders in this country pretend as though we don't have the strength that we actually have. Trump is not among them, and I'm glad for that. All right, quick break, a lot more. Craig Collins filling in, well, a little more. Tony Katz in the Morning News, 93 WIBC.
As America celebrates 250 years, WIBC takes you inside the moments that built a nation.
The Spirit of 76. A 1-minute look at this day in the Revolution. The battles, debates, and turning points that transformed a collection of colonies into these United States.
Weekday mornings at 7:35 and 11:35, and afternoons at 3:35 and 6:35, or anytime on demand at WIBC.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Haven't met your goals? At Low T Center, they're extending their free testosterone test. No risks, no commitments, just answers.
Low T Center works with the most insurance plans and continues as the most trusted name in TRT. Book that appointment right now at lowtcenter.com.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Hey, did your gutters look like your garden did last summer? Have you seen any small trees growing, maybe tomatoes? If your gutters look like that now, it's time to fix it. And if they don't, you can make sure it never happens to your gutters by getting Gutter Helmet like I did. I haven't cleaned my gutters in years. Why? Because Gutter Helmet does the dirty work for me. It isn't just a cover, it's a patented system. Water flows through, debris slides off, and your gutters stay clear. No more ladders, no more scooping out soggy gunk, and no more gutter gardens. And right now, they're offering 15% discount plus 12-month no-interest financing. But don't wait. This deal ends March 31st. Call 800-5-HELMET for your free no-pressure estimate. That's 800-5-HELMET. Visit GutterHelmetIndy.com and say goodbye to gutter cleaning for good. Gutter Helmet, never clean your gutters again.
Custom jewelry is not out of reach with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. At PA Jewelers, you can customize any piece of jewelry for that special someone. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg. Gold, diamonds, gemstones, and of course those watches from Flederman Von Riest, assembled right here in Indiana. Custom designed jewelry with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. Custom jewelry made just for you. PA Jewelers, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. PAJewelers.jewelry.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
Crash 29th at MLK, that's just there at the 65 ramps. Crash on the west side, Rockville Road to Girls School Road. South side northbound 65 slow from Raymond into the south split, that is a construction zone. North side westbound 465 stop and go from Keystone Avenue to 31 Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Turn your tax refund into new floors at Drexel Interiors. Luxury vinyl and carpet on sale now. Visit us in Carmel on River Road or on North Shadeland, online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It is cold in Indianapolis, which is just not fair because it was so nice just the other day. But snow is likely, if not already happening, in parts of the city throughout today. The temperature will drop into the 20s. Right now, it is 32 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Hey, what's up? It's Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel Show. And if clutter is taking over your home or your business, it's time to call Rubbish Works. They handle residential and commercial cleanouts, garages, basements, offices, even construction debris, furniture, appliances, junk, you name it. You just point, and they do the heavy lifting. Use the promo code HAMMER to get $25 off. Book right now at rubbishworks.com. 317-207-2749. Tell them Hammer sent you.
It all comes down to this, folks. Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Relive a
classic on the big screen. Stand By Me, the film and its stars 40 years later, comes to Old National Center on Saturday, June 13th. See the movie and hear from Corey Feldman, Jerry O'Connell, and Will Wheaton live on stage. Get your tickets now at WIBC.com.
This is the end.
Tony Katz, the morning news. 93 WIBC. I see what's happening. This nice theme of end of the show songs here from Carl. But this is the end of the show. 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt. You have Carl hanging out as they do every single day right here on the show. I meant to ask this earlier, and I'm just curious now. How did the Tony Katz event go that you guys had somewhat recently? Recapping a year for Trump. How was that? What was it like to go out and hang out with the listeners there? I think both of you guys were at that. Anyone want to chime in?
Carl?
What?
It was your event.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How'd it go? Any updates from it? Any fun? Any stories
surrounding Matt Bear?
What's that? Oh, a swarm of women. Wow, that's you brought a harem, Matt?
Yeah, no. I just brought myself. I left the harem at home. I said, do not leave the house today.
That's true. You got to leave the harem at home.
I am traffic.
Yeah. Was it fun to interact with listeners at events? I know WIBC does a lot of events like this, so I think it's pretty cool. And I'm just curious if it's kind of fun to have a lot of the listeners come up, talk to you. I don't know if you guys want to shout out any listeners who said anything to you, any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's one of the great joys, actually, Craig, and a lot of the people from our chats and from Twitter show up to this, so you get to say hi to them, and you get a chance to talk about them, even in short spurts, but hear a little bit about how they're doing their lives, and it's really cool like that. I mean, the YouTube chat, I always say it's a motley crew because they're wicked and talented and everything else, but a lot of them came, and it's just such a kick-ass vibe when everybody gets together, like it's Tony and the listeners and everybody just comes in just to say hey to each other and blow off a little steam and have a little party in the I forgot the hotel. The Hyatt Regency, Carl. Is that where we were at?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. The Hyatt just did a fantastic job, man.
Awesome.
And it's right in the middle of downtown, and in downtown parking's always a pain in the butt. But everybody was having so much fun. It was a cool thing, man. I only stayed for a little bit. There was a lot
of the harem. You had to get back to the harem.
Well, you had to get back to the harem, and the libations were flowing there. So I kind of took off, and I walked home. I walked home in the city, and to me, it was just an awesome night. I got to say hi to some friends, and then I got to walk home. So I loved the whole night. Tony, Carl, you guys just did a fantastic job putting it together and having the whole thing. And I was like, I was happy for you guys too.
I have one request for the next upcoming Tony event, whatever it is, wherever you go. I do want to know how many cigars are smoked, and it doesn't have to be just by Tony. I just want to know the total cigar number, because I think you always have to do a higher number than what you did at the last event. That means you're more successful. Can we do a cigar tally at the next one, man, or no?
Well, hopefully at the next one, we'll, get the cannabis through and everybody will be, whatever else in the cigar wraps. No, yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Now, it was the Hyatt Regency. I don't believe I saw anybody smoking a cigar inside.
No. Not outside? There wasn't a cigar anywhere in sight?
I came in through the alleys. That's kind of how I roll.
Well, it's gonna be easy to break the record of 0 then at the next one. That'll be easy. Right. I might show up and smoke a cigar and get kicked out of a hotel just for you guys, just so that I can do this. But that's awesome, man. Anyway, I just wanted to say one last thing about it. This is the reason it hit my brain. It's unique. Indianapolis and WIBC, it's a unique thing, and I think it's a pretty cool thing that they do so many events and bowling and stuff that people go to, because it's a nice way to show that the community actually cares about the station cares about the community. All that stuff is cool. So from afar, I'm just giving praise across the board to everybody that was involved in that, not just trying to kiss up. Although if this helps me in some way, sure, let's call it kissing up too. All right, other stuff real quick out there before we get out of here. Your brain, thank you, buddy. Your brain's distraction window opens 7 times per second, according to a brand new study. 7 times every second, you can be distracted by something like a flickering light. This is something that the scientists use to prove this, although I don't know if that's really a fair study in and of itself. What do we think of the idea that you can be distracted 7 times every second?
I just thought I was, getting ready to kick off a little bit. Actually, and that's been going on my whole life. I guess it makes you human. You know, it goes to show how interested you actually are in something, or how much you've slept or rested. So they're like maybe some health things that would exasperate that a little bit, like if you're a very light sleeper, you're not getting into that REM sleep. But I'm okay with being, I get distracted and I don't get too mad about it. I'm just a human being. I'm just a man, just a man.
Just a man. Yes, absolutely. I don't know. I feel like this isn't true for everybody. I feel like maybe this is a younger person thing. And that's just me blaming younger people for being more distractible than other people. I don't think I can get distracted every 7 times every second. I think I'm a little, and I have ADHD, by the way. I've been diagnosed with that, and I still think I can focus more. I know it's a fake thing to a lot of people. I can still focus more than I think this study is claiming. So I don't know. I just thought it was a tad extreme, although I know people that feel like they fall into this boat, so I'm not saying it's non-existent. There are a lot of people, and it's so funny because sometimes with spoken word stuff or anything, they say that the best way to re-engage somebody is to just play random sounds occasionally. Which Carl is now doing on this very show. Every time people are distracted, you just got to play a random noise, and then people will come right back to us, and everything will be great. So like that. That's perfect. So that's a huge win again across the board. This study is now saying how important Carl's sound box is. All right,
let me ask you this. Are they talking about roads anywhere in there? Because we get distracted more than 7 times while we're driving. I can promise you that. I mean,
they did not. But I think we're up for a traffic, so I'll get out of here. I'll see you guys later. Have fun, everybody. Thanks so much. It's great. Matt trying to transition us to traffic. Was that what was happening there?
No. I was just thinking about roads and about how I almost got cleaned up going. Somebody was going the wrong way on a one-way. Oh, man. And, yeah, it was just
That's so funny. Yeah, I thought that was your casual way to be like, I got to do a traffic now, Craig. You got to shut up.
No.
Okay.
It's no. I've just become really cantankerous when it comes to roads anymore,
dude. Because they're terrible. They're terrible everywhere. And people. Well, honestly, you know what? I'll say this in connection to what you just said. I think this study is part of the reason that people are even worse drivers now than they were before. I think the more distracted our society is, I can't tell you, this is a silly thing to rant about with a minute left, but who cares? I can't tell you the amount of times I see someone on their phone in the most unapologetic way ever while driving a vehicle on a highway. It's like in their face. They're holding it directly up to their face, not looking at the road at all, and just like everything will be fine. And I'm sure they have a car that, keeps them in a lane. That's not foolproof, baby, but people are acting like it is.
Yeah, and I'm the same with just people walking and looking at their phone. I'm like, excuse me, this is not your sidewalk. You're supposed to be walking down.
You gotta,
not paying attention
to me.
Get
out of my way.
Yes, get out of my way.
All right, now it's traffic time. Now Matt wants to transition us to traffic. Take it away, buddy. See you guys later.
All right, take it easy, Craig. Crash 20.